Yo, 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 what is up, people? What is up? Welcome back. We have another episode of the O.O.C. Had a little
What's
break
good,
last
people?
week, but we are back again. What's up, Roberto?
You know I was the break last week. Shit got me.
What shit got you? Talk to the people. Tell them what happened to you, bro.
COVID, man. COVID snuck up on a brother, took me down with a baseball bat.
What up,
And
guys?
I
How
feel
you doing,
like,
man?
what up, G?
What up, Paul? What up, Basil? How you doing?
What's up, people?
Basil? How you doing?
Just, just had a little quick episode, something that everybody's going to catch. Hopefully, they don't get it worse than I got it. But
So even after you being vaccinated and everything, you still felt like really, really bad, or how was it? What up, Tony?
I could tell you this, just like everybody else, the first day, it's
What up,
like
G?
your energy is just sucked out of you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just slept, wake up to sleep, wake up to say, man, I'm still sleeping, back to sleep. I was in bed for 2 days and sleeping and being in bed 2 days. I don't know if that's what caused the body pains, but the
Mads.
body pains is a bitch, boy.
So how did you catch it? Do you know?
No.
No?
All I know is how this thing works is dangerous, because while I'm saying if I had it, I would have symptoms, you don't have symptoms when you have it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it. And you just spread it without knowing. And then
So
when them symptoms catch up to you, you're like, oh shit, who was I near?
so
And sure enough,
you gave it to the family?
well, we didn't do no Jacques Cousteau private investigator shit to see who gave it to who.
Okay,
We just
okay.
we just know we all got it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We all got it. It's
Everyone?
almost like,
The girls too?
yes, my oldest
Shit.
caught it before, so she didn't catch it the second time. So I guess
Okay.
that myth is true. I don't know the time frame as to how long it is before you're susceptible to it again. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I feel like everybody's gonna catch it. It's just the timing couldn't be worse because we had booked a hotel in New York. We were gonna go away for 4 days. We booked a couple of shows. We booked some restaurants, and for 2 years I managed to escape this mofo. And 2 days before we're about to leave, bang! And I'm like, yo, I think I could beat it. You can't beat it, dog. You
Mm-hmm.
can't
Mm-hmm.
beat it. So listen, for my people who didn't get vaccinated, I ain't telling you shit. I just hope when you catch it, you get the mild version of it.
You see,
Because
now that's the question I wanted to ask you. Do you think being vaccinated helped you not like being completely sick?
when you talk to other people, you realize that everybody's different, man.
Right. Right.
Because for me, I honestly felt like, I don't know if it's in my head, but the way these symptoms were, I felt like the virus was battling the other
Mm-hmm.
virus.
Mm-hmm.
Like the shivers came, they left. And I'm not talking the shivers came for hours. The shivers came for like 30 minutes, gone.
Mm.
Then I'm sweating, gone. Nose block, headache, gone. But that body pain,
Mm-hmm.
that shit didn't go away. And it's
No,
like
no hard time breathing, like respiratory stuff.
nothing.
Like,
Like you know when you exhale and your shit's usually congested, I had
mm-hmm.
nothing. But yet I'm coughing up stuff.
Mm. Mm.
So weird as fuck. And to be honest, doesn't really go away.
I know.
I
Yeah.
feel better, but I still feel symptoms. My
Mm-hmm.
nose gets blocked, as you can hear.
Mm-hmm.
Um, get like these little dizzy spells,
Mm-hmm.
mild headaches. People are gonna say it's the fucking vaccine.
Yeah. You know what's
You know?
funny though? Because the way you're describing it, like I remember before it was like really announced here and in the States, it was around February, right? Early February, I think. Or early February or late January. I got sick. But it wasn't like it sounded like what you were talking about. Like it was like, weird type of sick. I wasn't like and like, oh my god, like when you catch the flu and you really have a high fever and everything like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was pretty mild, but it also didn't feel like a normal cold. And then when I got better, my cough stayed for like a month, if not longer. Like the cough would not leave me, man. It's like, oh, you're sick? No, man. I'm just like, this damn cough. I'm going to get my hair cut now, right? And this is when it's been announced. You know what I mean? COVID has been announced. It's here, it's there, and everywhere. Mask up and everything. And well, it wasn't really the mask mandate at the time yet, or you people weren't really wearing masks.
We
But
weren't paro yet.
right. But it was there. But I am coughing like a motherfucker, bro. And those guys are like, yo, are you sick? You got? I'm like, nah, man, this cough won't go away, you know? So I'm pretty sure I didn't have it at the time, but the cough just would not go away. It was
See, all those times I thought I had COVID, now that I had it, I realized those times I thought I had it, I didn't have shit.
Until you actually caught it, right?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, the energy part, and my boy, who, you know, I like to say he got it from me. I don't feel no way. I can't fucking control this shit.
Right.
But he's not getting over it at all. Like, he still has the balance issues, and the balance issues was the fucking scariest, because the wife was telling me, you know, I really feel like fucking, like, I could barely keep my eyes open, and I get these like little dizzy spells, and I'm like, this shit ain't fucking COVID symptoms. You're not coughing, your throat doesn't hurt you, you don't have a fever, you have no cold symptoms, you're just weak and you're dizzy. So I'm saying, fuck, if you had COVID, then I would have it, right? Just speaking. And sure enough, 2 days later, I fucking bent down to tie my shoes and I had to catch myself. I was like, holy fuck. And then I noticed throughout the day, like, my balance was off. I don't know if it's because I was weak. It was just really weird, really weird. And to be honest, it's way past the recommended time for you to be down. Like, it's 5 days if you're double vax, right?
Yeah.
I'm going on 14 days now, 13 days, and I still feel it.
You wish you would have got the booster now?
No.
Okay, just asking.
You know, I'm glad I got rid of it. And again, it's, you know, we're human. Your guard's gonna be down. You can't fucking, you're some kind of super agent. You avoid this shit the duration of its stay. You're a super agent. That's all I can tell you. But again, for those of you who catch it, I hope you catch the lightness of it.
And Paul said long COVID is an issue we're going to start running into.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, proof right there. If anybody in the chat, if you guys have caught it and you can sympathize with Roberto's symptoms, or you had different symptoms, let us know. You know what I mean? Let us know. Take no more boosters. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. But even now, sometimes, like, you hear me coughing now, right? I did, like, you know, ways before the show, obviously, right?
No doubt.
But even with that, I still find that sometimes my cough lingers around, and I have a feeling it had to do with when I got sick. Now, I ain't sitting here and saying it was COVID because I have no idea. I didn't take a test or anything like that. Plus, at the time,
I came up negative. I mean,
I came
up positive. Okay. Sorry. Those fucking 2 lines popped up like it was Formula One. I was like, why so fast? Everybody has to wait 15 minutes. My shit came instant, dog. I was like, holy shit. Let it sit 15 minutes. Maybe that second line will fade. Nah. Nah.
Yeah, man. And this, again, at the end of the day, it's like you got to be careful with that stuff, man, because especially me, like, I ain't vaccinated, so I don't know what type of effects it'll have. But if I did have it, then I can be like, okay, maybe I have some sort of immunity where if I catch it again, it won't be as bad or anything like that. But I can't confirm that I had it. So to me, I have to go with the fact that maybe I didn't have it, you know, and still be careful when I'm doing things. What's up, Triple X?
You know when you're sick enough that you say, let me go do a test. Because I could say, hey, you know, this is just a cold I have. nothing serious. I don't really have any symptoms. But if you're gonna fucking stick a shit up your nose every time your nose is runny or you have a cough, you better get a lot of them kits, man.
Right. Right. Exactly. But I said I had it 2 times. Second time I had no symptoms. Were
That's
you
what's scary.
how sick were you the second time though? That's the question,
Yeah,
right?
no symptoms, right? So you couldn't have been that sick.
Yeah, I guess. I guess you're right. So if you had no symptoms, how did you know you had it?
Because that's another thing. What would make you go do the test?
Right,
Because
right.
people around you have it?
Maybe,
That would
maybe.
be the only thing logical,
Danny, what's up, brother? See you soon. You know what I mean? Whenever you're ready. Like I said, me and Roberto are just gonna kick it for a little bit, and then we'll get into the main topics. Got some fire ones today. I figured people were asking us to talk about Russia and the invasion, so we'll discuss that a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's
But we
all
got
kinds of shit to get off the chest. All kinds.
absolutely. And if you see the title, we got some breaking news with Ryan Coogler, which we're going to get into all of that stuff too. It's going to be great, man. I'm excited for it, you know. And we missed last week, like we said, because Roberto wasn't feeling well. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm in the
It's fucking
backstage.
quarantine, man.
I'm,
Quarantine like a fucking guinea pig.
I'm sitting there and waiting in the backstage, and I'm like, all right, is Roberto coming? You know what I mean? How she was waiting with me. No, I was supposed to message her to come in. You know what I mean? So I'm like, is what the hell is Roberto? So I message Roberto, no answer, and I'm like, okay, so maybe he's sleeping or something like that. Didn't know you had the virus. So then when you told me, I was like, ah, shit, that's fucked
Bruh,
up.
I didn't even know what fucking day it was. I'm telling you, I was out of it. No spliff, no nada, nothing. Just a fucking zombie.
I feel you. Mystic Shadow said, I'm fully vaccinated and I got the booster. Good, man. Hopefully, it helps. You don't catch it. You know what I mean? Or if you do, that booster shot or whatever you had, you don't get the effects of it. What up, Ninjroid? How you doing? Second time my daughter had to do it. She's 4. So I had to show her the test wasn't bad. Oh, shit. Sorry to hear that, man. And he said, I turned positive and she was negative. Okay, so she had to take the test. You had to show her that there was no issue with taking the test. And then when you took the test, you were positive. That's fucked up. That's
Hmm.
fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy how the invasion washed all the Canadian stuff from the news, huh? Well, the reason why is because the convoy left. You know what I mean? The convoy left
Convoy
and
got distorted.
yeah, basically, they had no choice but to leave. And then Trudeau got rid of the powers that they've given him. So that's why you don't hear it. But I do also think that the Russia stuff is a lot more important than what is happening here because this Russia thing, what up, Perp? How you doing? Like
I-
this.
I'm
this
sorry to say, but for 2 years, every day you turn on the news, you hear COVID.
mm-hmm,
For 2 fucking years,
mm-hmm.
every single day of the day, every hour. And then this invasion takes place. I can understand what he's saying. It was like a relief
Mm-hmm.
to hear something non-COVID related,
Mm-hmm.
but in all honesty, I could not fathom I would ever witness what I'm seeing now in my lifetime.
Facts. And the fact that it could get so much worse, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? It could get so much worse.
You see this
Uh,
Z thing going on now?
which Z thing?
Oh, you don't know.
Mm-mm.
So if you're pro Putin, you have this Z. It's on all their tanks. They had this kid up in the Olympics, whatever they're doing now, whatever part of the world, and this guy won something adjacent to a guy from fucking Ukraine with this Z on his chest.
Really? But
Something, something's going on, dog. Something is going on.
wouldn't surprise me. And K-Dot, you spelled DC wrong, just so you know. But it's okay. You know what I mean? I'm here to correct your mistake. It's all good. Spelled DC wrong. But yeah, man, I don't know about the Z, but like I said, yeah, something is going on. Like world leaders they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? They can't go and help because Putin already put out that warning that if anybody helps them, it's done. You know what I mean? So,
Nzo, I could just tell you one thing that I saw that was really disturbing to hear.
mhm,
When they asked the leader of Poland, "Are you worried that Russia is going to invade you next because you're taking on so many Ukrainian,
mhm,
refugees?" He said, "I'm not worried at all. We're a part of NATO. They
mhm,
would not allow that."
mhm.
So basically, what he's saying is that if you're a part of NATO, you're safe. If you're not, then sorry,
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's
because that's what's
100%.
happening, right?
Yes, yes. The reason why they are not getting involved is because the Ukraine isn't a part of NATO, but NATO borders one of their
All of them.
partners, right? Yes. So they're saying that if Putin steps foot in one of those countries, those native partners, it's on,
But look
right?
what he's doing to fucking civilians. These are war crimes being fucking done in front of our eyes, man.
Hmm. Hmm. And America has to sit back and watch. You know why? Because Russia is one of the biggest threats in the world, right?
You got a
Russia and
madman.
China.
You got a madman threatening to push the button, making threats of getting his people
Mm-hmm.
ready to push that button.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you allow him to do this, what's to stop him from doing anything else? Why is it if they go into
Yes.
Poland, now they can do something and they're not afraid of him, but yet they're doing it to Ukraine and you're afraid of him? How does this make sense?
You see, I don't think it's that they're afraid of him, though, Roberto, or anything like that. I just think like it's an if they step onto NATO land, then it's an act of war, and they have no choice but to fight back, right?
What they're doing now is not an act of war. They're not breaking
No,
any
no,
fucking.
no, absolutely, absolutely. But because it doesn't affect any of their partners, you know what I mean? They have to let Ukraine do it. But once it does affect the partners, then they're gonna have to go to
But you know
war.
why all this is happening, right?
What? What's that?
That they invaded Ukraine
Mm.
because Putin didn't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO.
Yes, yes, yes. And don't quote me on this because it was a few weeks ago when we were supposed to do this topic, and I was reading some stuff about it. But from what I'm hearing is there are two, I guess, countries or whatever you want to call them in um, Ukraine that kind of separated, right? And what Putin did was allow that to happen. He agreed with it and all that stuff, and now he's going and attacking because he wants that land and he wants Ukraine. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's like I don't even know, man, all the politics, and I can't just sit here and pretend like I know every single and all the politics on it. But whatever it is, it's definitely some shit. And it's like we 2 years and we just now like getting back to normal. Let's say a year, there's a war. You know what I mean? Like a real nuclear war. Like what the fuck is going
It's
on in this world,
done.
bro?
It's done. Nuclear war.
What up, Peyton Nate? What's going on? Now, my question is does Russia have the capabilities of their missiles being able to hit America? Right? Like, can you send a long range missile from Russia or wherever they have their missile bases to America?
They
Maybe
got
they
their
want.
planes. They got the technology because supposedly they have some weapon that nobody else
Hmm.
in the world has,
Hmm.
and this weapon is fucking devastating that they have, and they're hoping that they don't come to use it.
Well,
But as fucking crazy as this man looks right now, the atrocities he's pulling off right now and going on TV. I mean, I thought Trump was crazy, yo.
yeah, I know. Right?
You know?
Bozo
Listen,
said Russia can hit Alaska. Okay, so they can they can hit Alaska.
these guys, I was more worried about China with Russia because the US has problems with everybody, yo.
Mm-hmm.
At least all the crazy people. And
Mm-hmm.
I said crazy people because when you have the capability of ending the world and you make threat of it, What are your gains?
For
If
real.
they're not fucking narcissist thoughts, man. There's no, you're gonna blow up half the world and you live on the other half peacefully. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're disrupting the fucking planet.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And you know, right? China will side with Russia. You know what I mean? Like they ain't signing with the US and NATO and stuff like that. No.
Nzo, they're dead too, you know. They're
Yeah,
all dead.
I know. Oh, I know.
Push that button,
100%.
you're dead. I don't care whose
Yeah,
side you're on, you're
100%.
dead.
Yeah,
So
100%.
what's the fucking outcome?
Yeah, 100%.
What history
100%.
are you making when you end mankind?
Huh?
Who's gonna pass the message? You think you're fucking earning a life stripe or something? Like, what is your plot in this?
Hey man, hopefully it's about getting Ukraine and that's it. But then I'm also thinking, right? Maybe there's a bigger plan. Maybe there's a
Of course,
reason
Nzo.
why they want Ukraine so badly. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's
This guy
crazy, man.
makes threats to all of Europe, not just all of you.
Yeah.
Fuck
Mm-hmm.
with me, all of you, and you will see. All of you. I don't need to point out who the superpowers are amongst you, Germany, France. I'll fuck you all up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There was
You
already
know,
something I seen on Instagram. It's like, oh, Putin put out all the unfriendly countries, and it was like Canada was one of them. Well, of course, we're part of NATO. I understand that. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it's like if you ain't with us, you're against us. And anybody that will sit there and threaten to end the world is a madman. Is a fucking madman. That's crazy. I think both sides know if they push the button, it'll be devastating for both sides equally, 100%. But it seems like one side doesn't give a shit about
you
that.
know what? I'd like to hear from if there's any people from that side, their ideology. Like if someone could actually try and make us comprehend why this is happening, because it can't. We're all against Putin. There has to be some naysayers out there, as they say, right?
Well, the only one I know is Paul's girlfriend, Jess. She's actually from Russia. So
Okay.
I would have loved to get her take on it, but I'm pretty sure she's at work and probably not watching. But I'm sure her and Paul have had conversations about it. So Paul, if you know anything or have any, you can talk in the chat and let us know. Notice how Africa is never involved in anything because we smoke weed every day. You know what I mean? We ain't care
Because
about all
we
that
got
shit.
dispersed all throughout the world, you know?
Hmm.
It's not enough to say shit.
Dude, everyone thought
Brothers,
20.
unite. Let's all go back to Africa. Let's unite like the Israelis do in fucking Israel. We'll
Hey,
all go back to
hey,
Africa and tip that scale, yo.
hey, I'm beginning to think that's probably not a bad idea, bro. You
You
know
know
what
what
I
I mean?
mean?
Hold on, let me not preach that too loud before I disappear.
Probably won't disappear.
This guy,
You'll just have like
he's starting a revolution. He's gaining momentum. Make his car crash.
they trying to go back to Africa, guys. No, we one time they wanted us to go back to Africa, and I was like, no, we need you guys.
Anzo,
No.
remember that movie I told you I would like to produce, you know?
Hmm.
Like they always say, the movie's going to be called "Go Back to Your Country," and you know what? One day somebody's just going to take that phrase and fucking give it power and
Like it
pull
used
one
to
of
happen.
those Jones movies and fucking
Yeah, like it used
corrupt
to
the
happen.
Kool Aid and bring all the black people. You get them all to leave.
Yeah. Triple X said, dude, everyone thought 2020 was bad. This is going to be a lot worse. Absolutely. Well, it already is because the amount of people that are dying already is unbelievable, right?
We
For
don't even
what?
know. We don't
Yeah,
even
it's
know.
like for
With their
what?
fake news fucking
Right,
times two.
right. It's and it's all for what, you know? Um, You're right, Caleb, but Africa has so much valuable resources that a lot of countries always try to gain advantage of. 100%. And that is why they don't tell us to go back to Africa anymore because of all the resources that Africa has, bro. Like, I've said it many times when you watch little commercials, oh, hey, cause sponsor a child, you see all these, suffering, kids suffering in Africa. And yes, there are places like that. But there are places in Africa where it's like, holy shit, yo, that looks like money right there, bro. Trust me, 100%. But they never show that. You know what I mean? They never show that.
Why would they?
You and I both know why. Triple X said, "Do Ukraine is just a stepping stone for Russia's world domination plan." Hey, man, it kind of seems like that's what they're trying to do, right? But you see, I would like to know what are the military, um, like what advantages does having Ukraine have towards taking up world domination? That would be interesting to know. Most of the abundant sources of lithium is in Ukraine.
They
It's
got
for the
four
minerals.
fucking nuclear plants there.
Yep. Why not? Danny's in the house. What's up, Danny? What's going on?
What's up, Danny?
Chilling, chilling. We're just sitting here talking about this Russia stuff, man. You have any thoughts on it?
Putin is crazy.
That goes without fucking saying, hands down, man.
I don't know how to handle that, man. You got to handle him with kid gloves because that nuclear, ain't nobody gonna survive that. So I mean, I don't know what the gain of even threatening that because that don't make no sense.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. So, like me and Roberto were talking earlier, it's like there has to be a bigger plan for what he's trying to accomplish with taking Ukraine. You know what I mean? And we just don't know what it is yet. And
look, I ain't about how I want to say this without getting too. But we see all these movies where we have these super spies that can infiltrate all this stuff and be taking people out and do this kind of stuff. I mean, man, we sought out and found Bin Laden. We sought out and found Saddam Hussein. I mean, man, somebody got to do something.
yeah. But you see, what can we do though, then? Because those countries weren't nuclear superpowers like Russia is. You know what I mean? And I think that like maybe if Putin didn't put that threat out there, maybe a USA would have been more inclined to help. Send a couple troops over there. But the minute that threat came out, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. And they have their analysts to assess the threats and be like, how, you know what I mean? Like, how reputable is this threat? They probably said 100%, dude. Like,
But
100%.
Isn't the U.S. a part of NATO?
Yes.
U.S., yeah.
So why do they say the U.S. and NATO? Why don't they just say NATO? Why do they want to they want to separate the U.S. because they always want to make the U.S. look like the culprit? The U.S. antagonized NATO to do what they're doing. The U.S. is behind NATO getting into Ukraine, and it's all these fucking conspiracies, man.
The U.S., in my opinion, sometimes they create some of their own problems.
You're right.
Because every time something happens in the world, we got to put on the cape and fly and say, I mean,
I don't know about everywhere. I see where there's money.
I'm about helping people, but every time you hear it, well, here in America, they're sending money to this country, that country, this country. If something happens, we sending troops to this country. I mean, we're gonna weaken ourselves and spread ourselves thin. I mean, I don't understand it.
Well, I think that what you're saying is you should work about fixing your own backyard before you worry about other things, right?
There should not be a homeless person in the United States.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%. 100%.
We should not be getting. Yeah, if you get sick, it could cripple you. It could cripple your family financially. It could cripple you because they don't care.
Absolutely. How many of those homeless are military?
It's a lot.
That's the saddest part of it.
In the town I live in, there's a place behind one of the restaurants called Golden Corral, and it's called Tent City. And you go behind there, it's a whole row. I mean, several families living in tents and stuff. They're homeless, kids, family. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. Andrea, I know you want to come in and talk about this, but we're actually gonna get off of this topic now because we got
just a starter. This is an appetizer,
right? You know what I mean. So me and Roberto can have a little talk and stuff. We're gonna get into the real topic, right? We're gonna do the Ryan Coogler, Then we're going to do Roberto's topic, because then Roberto's topic is going to kind of go into Danny's topic, which we got for the end. So we kind of saved the best for last.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you know what I mean? We
I
saved
ain't
the
hitting
best
on
for
no
last.
police today, Daddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I'm gonna bring this up real quick, and I don't know if any of you guys saw it. Okay, wrong fucking screen. Thank God it wasn't one of my porn streams up there. Eh? I would have
You know
been
what I'm
like, hey, quick kind of stream. Hey,
What up, Dr. Supreme? I don't know what I was 100 about, but I appreciate it.
so why is it showing us on that?
Oh, talking about nobody should be homeless in the United States. Yeah. No.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we have this here, and I'm just going to play this video real quick, and then we'll discuss it. It's about a 5-minute video, but we'll see how it goes and if we need to really talk about, because they usually talk about at the end. But Black Panther director Ryan Coogler's bank incident on police body cam video. So here we go.
TMZ.
Yeah.
Hey, sir. Do me a favor, man. Come this way. Put your hand behind your back. Hands down my back. Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Run out his holster. Good God.
Y'all doing this, bro? Give me 1 second. Hold on. Is that him with the grades, right? No, sir. 204 on the other thing. Fellas, I really should do it. I mean, what's going on, my man? Trying to put money on my own. You said what? Yeah, what's up? This your phone? Yeah, sure.
You have ID on you?
I got everything on me.
Where?
But the thing I'm trying to explain to you right now, sir, you listen to me.
I'm listening.
If you come on my right side, I got a badge on hanging off my hip, my work badge. And it'll tell you everything about me. And if you just run my name, you'll understand why you should take me off these cuts. You can not do it.
This is your name?
It's gonna be really bad for you. Yes,
Okay.
that's my name.
He's talking about shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coogler. Just put it in Google.
So wait, he don't know who Ryan Coogler is? I guess not. Maybe.
I'm really trying to keep it from being a bad day on your job, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Black man to black man, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He talking a little bit of shit.
Because he knows who he is.
I'm gonna go out.
But to the police, you just somebody.
Just want to shake, bro. Say what? Just want to shake. Somebody take my glasses off my face. I'm gonna have a panic attack, bro.
You got you. You need some air?
I mean, I gotta be honest with you, man. I just can't believe this, man. Is that my family baby nurse? Did y'all have her detained right now?
Who? Sit here.
The baby nurse, the Filipino woman that was in the back seat. Did y'all have her detained right now?
Yes. She's being detained at this time. All right.
Wow.
Can you, did the officers explain what's going on while we're out here?
Not really, man.
All right, so we got a call
I heard somebody ask me if I passed a note.
Yeah.
This might have been one of these dudes with.
So basically, we got a call, and from what we got the call, it seemed like someone was trying to rob the bank. Something about you passing a note to the teller, something to that effect. Can you just tell me what's going on? Or?
Yeah, bro. It's a medical assistant that works in my house that prefers to be paid in cash. Every time I make a withdrawal and pay her, because it's a large amount, she works a lot.
Yeah.
If I don't write down on a note how much I went out, and then I don't want it ran through the money counter right there at the desk, the whole bank ends up looking at me because they just hear money going through the through the account. And I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe getting money out like that. So every time I go to withdraw it, I put the amount, the account I want to take it out of, and I put my own card in, and then they usually take me out like always just get the money from me. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I don't understand.
So that's like I said, that's the reason why we're out here, and that's the reason why we detained everybody, because we didn't know exactly what was going on. So you make.
But I was trying. But I gotta be honest with you, man. Y'all never asked me.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, in those situations,
y'all left it down on me. You know what I'm saying?
where's your ID?
Well, that's why Danny's here, huh?
You
gonna ask Danny some questions.
Bro, haircut. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. I need everybody's name.
They're writing all your
Everybody's name. You know what I'm saying? And I need to find out who made that call in there.
Okay.
You know what I
It
mean?
came from the bank.
Yeah. I just need to find out who made the
That's
call.
fine. That's fine. You have all right to do so.
Yeah, I got.
But I just want you to understand what my sergeant advised you on the nature of the call. That's all I need you to understand.
Have you ever considered speaking to them before you make a transaction like that? Have you ever had something like this happen?
Have I ever been arrested?
No.
Wait, what?
Listen to what he said.
Have you ever?
No, I am listening.
Okay. Have you ever considered speaking to them about what it is you're trying to do prior to doing?
So can I explain something to you, bro?
Why does he
I was
have
at
to?
CVS out here the other day to get a vaccine. I came outside, smelled like smoke in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? I was getting the vaccine.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fuck around out here, bro. Like, I'm not saying out loud how much money I'm taking them. That's why I'm writing it down.
I'm not talking about speaking to somebody like that. I'm saying, hey, can I speak to a manager in an office somewhere? Have you ever considered doing something like that? I'm gonna consider it now that y'all fucking drew guns on me. I was trying to take money out. But up to this point,
never happened
every Bank of
before.
America I ever gone through my entire fucking life just never happened.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all explaining y'all perspective, right? Yeah. Y'all the ones with guns and vests. You know what I'm saying? What's my perspective? What's my perspective?
Facts.
At the bank, she never said it was a fucking problem, bro. Yeah. I said, hey, is that gonna be okay with you? She said, yeah. I put my own card in, put my own pin in. She asked to see my ID. I gave it to her. Yeah. And she goes in the back, and I'm waiting for the and then the people keep coming out. Hey, they taking care of you. They taking care of you. Everything, it's taking a little while. Next thing I hear fucking Glocks. Yeah. I hear Glocks getting pulled out. That's what I hear. I hear Glocks getting pulled out from unholstering. Hey, sir, can I talk to you for a minute? You know what I'm saying? So you see my perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean.
How many options you got on this?
It's almost done. So let's put this in perspective because the end part is what's really important in this. He said he put his PIN in there, put his card in there, gave his information, and they still called and said he was trying to rob the bank. Your perspective, Danny. I'm glad you're here for this.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did he say him in particular was trying to rob the bank?
Yeah,
or
him.
Someone was robbing the bank?
No, him. They stopped him because when the cop came in, you could hear say, "Who is it? The guy in the green sweater?"
Okay, I'm gonna tell you from the cop perspective. When we get those kind of calls at banks, there's a certain procedure that where I'm at, there's a code word they already have, and they tell a code word. If it matches off, then we know how to approach in an aggressive manner, soft manner, fat, whatever the case may be. Now, I don't put the blame on the cop. I put the blame on the bank teller. Because if I go there and I got the ATM, I got my account number, I got my PIN number, I'm showing you my ID, all that shit should match up.
Right.
So if I'm showing you that, or if you want to verify, hey, can you just take your mask off so I can make a visual verification? But the cops ain't getting all that information. All they getting is you got somebody here at the bank suspicious. Now, would I have drawn out my weapon? I would have done that. Hey, man, can I talk to you? Before I talk to you, let me do a Terry Pat frisk. Make sure you ain't got no weapons on you. I'll pull them to the side and talk to them. I don't know if I would have detained him in the car like that, but I don't know what different departments have different policies and procedures.
Right? Okay.
But I don't see no threat. He ain't holding no gun up. I got my man there, my backup guy. I'm gonna do the Terry frisk, make sure I can't feel no weapon or anything in his pockets, in his waistband, that kind of stuff. I'm gonna pull him to the side in a private room, man. Hey, man, what's going on? But now, whoever called, man, they fucked up. Now, if I was him, I'd shoot that bank.
100%. Especially after he gave all his information and shit. So where do you get the information that he's trying to rob the bank? Why? Because he said, you know what it was? Straight up, Danny, what it was is the amount of money he was trying to take out. That's exactly what it was. And you have this black man coming into a bank trying to take out, I think it was $12K. Trying to take out $12K. That's exactly what it was. And this is why when these things come up, I'm sorry to say it, but this is an example of white privilege because that would not have happened to a white dude.
But if my point being is, if the cops knew they were wrong, why are they trying to justify? Why do they always try and justify their actions?
That's
No,
a good point.
the cops, right? From my perspective, they didn't know that he did all that. All we get is a lot of times, Roberto, cops just get a piece of the call. Hey, we got somebody here that's suspicious, blah blah blah. We don't know that that this individual had his ID,
Right.
he gave his PIN
Right.
number.
Yeah.
All we got suspicious mail, black mail, whatever the case may be, in the bank. We think he's trying to rob. He give us a rent note saying he want this amount of money.
I'm talking at the end, Danny, not the beginning when they just came in. That I can understand. I'm talking at the end when he already explained himself, and then the cop is still trying to justify why they did what they did, and he's just saying, "This is my perspective. I see yours, but does my perspective ever come into play or matter?"
But they hadn't heard it before he said it.
But when he did tell them, they still tried to say, "Well, you can
see all that.
understand. You can understand why we did what we did, right?"
I didn't hear him say that. They said that.
If you can play it back, the cops are always, they don't just say, "You know what, you have a valid point, and you know what, we apologize, just move on. Like, call a spade and move on." But it's like, even when you have no guilt in the situation, they want to try and justify their actions. Why? If there's no fault in their actions, why do they try and justify it?
I think it's around here. So let's get back to the end real quick.
How many options you got on that?
No. So
You see my perspective.
Here.
I hear Glocks getting pulled out. That's what I hear.
You're a Glock.
I hear Glocks getting pulled out from unholstering. Hey, sir, can I talk to you for a minute? You understand what I'm saying? So you see my perspective.
Yeah.
Who's that shaking his head over there? Is that another cop?
I don't know.
This guy here?
I think he's with Ryan Coogler.
Oh, yeah.
How many options you got on that?
Okay. So after he says it, the cops don't say anything.
Yeah, they didn't say. They
don't say
nothing.
anything. They don't say anything. But my thing is this, right?
Because bro, they know they could potentially be in trouble because
You see TMZ on the side.
Because he is a somebody. But what I would, I'm not defending this at all. But I'm just telling you what I would do, because I am of that persuasion, like all the three of us are. If you're gonna be taking that regular amounts of money on a regular basis, he said that he got to pay his person in cash. I would have been done. Call the bank man and say, "Hey, look, this is how it's going down. I'm Ryan Coogler. I made Black Panther. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna be a customer of this bank, and I'm gonna need this, and this."
And does he have to do that because he's black, or is that standard for everybody?
No, I would do that if I'm gonna do that if I'm a big wig and I bring that kind of money.
I'm just curious because I want to know if a white person has to do that.
No, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that
because he's black. He has to do that,
or he should do that.
I'm not saying he has to. I'm not saying that it's right or it's fair. I'm saying that it is necessary.
It would be smart.
Shit like this from that happening.
Right. And my thing is this,
that's
too, right?
That's why I'm just validating what Nzo said.
But there's another thing too, right? It's probably a bank because he travels all the time, right? So it could possibly not even be a bank that he usually.
It was a Bank of America,
right? So
I saw this early this morning, but I was like, "Is this shit real or not?"
Oh, when TMZ does it, it's real, bro.
Yeah, I saw it early this morning on that website that Chris sent us. It was on there.
Let me shout out to TMZ, because these motherfuckers get these breaking news like that. Anything happens, TMZ gets it like that.
That's illegal as fuck. You cannot show an officer's camera, body cam. I don't know how they do it.
They must have got it from somewhere.
If anybody's gonna do it, it's TMZ.
Somebody sold it. Somebody sold that, because that's against.
That's a leak.
You cannot do that.
So you see that there, guys. So TMZ,
because they have to cover their end first, right, Danny?
That's an open investigation. You can't do that.
Right. And Danny, to be honest with you, right? Like, hey, call up the chief of police there and be like, "Oh yeah, this is what happened. Is there any way we could get the body cam search?" "Oh no, sir, we can't do that." "Oh yeah. Well, what if you get a nice donation to your department?"
I ain't saying that don't happen, but I know by the rules of FOIA, you cannot. That stands for Freedom of Information Act. You cannot use a police officer's body cam footage
unless the police release it.
Police can't
Right?
release it. Yeah, if
Well,
they release it, yeah, they can
yeah.
do it.
Right.
But TMZ should have access to that now. Only way they should do that is that Ryan Coogler get an attorney. The attorney gets what they call a Rule 5, where all the evidence in the case he has to get, because that's called discovery. He gets that, and then he releases it, or he gives them permission to do it.
Gotcha.
But I don't think Ryan Coogler got a lawyer in this, based on what I read in the article. The rest of the article is saying that Bank of America made it good. Whatever they did, he was satisfied with whatever they did to rectify that situation.
Yeah, they probably fired that chick. But can we talk about the elephant in the room, please? Let's talk about the elephant in the room right now.
Okay, what's that?
The fucking cop was black and looked at his name and didn't know who the fuck he was.
Okay, we don't know every black person.
He could be from the West Island.
I know, Danny. I know we don't know every black person, but this is the man who made Black Panther. You took your kids to see that movie, guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, well, is that your name? I would have been like,
can I have your autograph?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'd have been like, the same Ryan Coogler that made Black Panther? And right then and there, it's like,
take these clothes off this motherfucker.
yeah,
Take
facts. Take the cover off for this guy, you know? But that goes along to the same lines of Oprah going into a store and getting kicked out. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't expect, and I'm not gonna lie, Coogler in that video looked like me. You know what I mean? He looked like me.
You listen to him speak. You listen to him speak. He's not well spoken.
I agree.
He's talking a lot of slang.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you, 100%. But at the end of the day, should that matter though?
It shouldn't matter, but
we know it does.
We know it shouldn't matter.
I know.
If you expect to go around in this world looking like we do, and expect to get treated fairly in every situation, then I'm going to say it. You are a fool.
That's, Danny, I have to agree with you, because I was saying the same thing about those brothers crying in Ukraine. What the fuck you doing over there? I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound like that, but in all honesty, listen. When I went to Bulgaria, the first thing, and one of the only things on my mind, is how many of me am I going to see while I'm there, because I want to feel a little comfortable. Now, that gives us comfort. I don't know how it works for other people, but it gives me comfort.
It's human nature, bro. I'm going to tell you this. Two true stories.
Well, can I just finish this one down before I forget? Because, I burn chronic, and, the stories don't last very long.
Go right
almost forgot right now. Hold on.
Ukraine, you said Bulgaria?
Yes, okay.
Uh-huh.
You went over to Bulgaria?
These people, okay, I'm going to just go straight to the point so you can say yours. These guys that are in Ukraine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't, you're in their country. You don't want to fight for them, but yet you want them to leave their wife and kids behind so you can get a seat to get the fuck out. Why are you there?
Oh yeah, we're gonna discuss.
That's just my outlook, and I'm black.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss that one too, because that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
Why are you there?
They weren't and Donnie, they ain't letting the black people them out of Ukraine, bro. They weren't letting them out. The white people first. The white people first.
No, it's women and children.
I told you, man. Haven't you heard me say it before? Just because you can do something, don't mean you have to.
Facts.
Because I can go to Ukraine. I ain't lost shit over there. Some countries I can go to, I ain't going to, because I ain't lost shit over there. Mm-hmm. I ain't getting myself in a situation. I can tell you. Me and my wife and a couple of our friends, we went to the mountains. And I always make the joke, man, I'm going to be the only fly in a bowl of milk. So we walk around, man, and I'm the only fly in the bowl of milk. I was like, okay. Well, I got my shit on, so I'm good. Hey, 18 people going to go. I can't take out all of them. But the first 18 in trouble. So I walked around, man, and I saw a brother and his wife. So, man, we gravitated towards each other in that store. And I was like,
the bonded, huh?
Man, Good to see you. He said, man, good to see you too.
I got your back.
Man, that's it, man. That's just human nature. Ain't that I ain't thought that was gonna happen, but at least you know if shit does happen. At least you got a damn
That is funny.
group or
It's funny
something.
you mentioned that, Danny, because I did see a brother from an American there, and he hailed me
What
out
up, bro?
from across the street. We hailed each other out, like we acknowledged that we
Hey,
both noticed
I'll
each
tell you,
other.
bro. You're gonna see that, bro. When you in, I won't say hostile, but you're in potentially hostile territory, and you see someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's a little comforting feeling.
You know,
bro.
yeah, hands down. You know what I mean? You walk into a spot and you're like, and sometimes I do it. I go to a place and I'm like, all right, like I am the only black person here. You know
We're talking a country, odds.
Yeah,
you're in a
right,
place. You
right.
can always leave that place, right?
And I was in a
Right.
town, a whole town. I was like,
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine if I'm going to a place and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I belong in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Imagine going to a town or country and be
But
like,
you see, because of the way we grew up, right? Like when I was young and we're going to play in these little French hick towns on these tournaments, and you're the only black people they see. They don't even see black people on TV because they watch French TV, right?
mm-hmm.
You going in these little hick towns. For me, I never stopped to think, why are my parents sending me here? I may never come back. I never had that kind of brain
Right,
pattern
right.
because, like I said, we grew up so diverse.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I know when I leave my backyard to go to somebody else's backyard, you can't take that mentality with you. You got to be aware of your surroundings and know that if something goes down, am I going to get treated the same? No. So why the fuck am I there?
Facts.
And, you know, if they're going there for school, I'm sure there's some other places they could go for school where if they ain't going to help the cause, don't be there, yo.
Yeah, for whatever reason, there's a big like he was saying. I think it's Basel. In Ukraine, there's a strong African presence with their study programs.
I hear you.
I'm not sure. I guess they must have a really good study program because
they weren't studying hard enough because they should have known to get their black ass out of there before that shit started. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So since we're on that topic, I'll just show this video real quick. It's another one. It's about an 8-minute video where it kind of talks about what we were talking about and stuff, and then we can have a little bit more discussion on it as well. Let me see, where is it? Here it is. Cool. All right, so let me bring this up real quick.
Going viral from news coverage
right
of the war in Ukraine. And the reason so many people, I think, are watching and reacting to them is because they really seem to give up the game on something really central to the media's coverage of Ukraine. Namely, why are they so deeply concerned for the victims of this particular crisis, in contrast to the indifference or outright contempt displayed for the victims of any myriad of other crises around the world? Let's take a look.
Now with the Russians marching in, it's changed the calculus entirely. Tens of thousands of people have tried to flee the city. There will be many more. People are hiding out in bomb shelters. But this isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan, that has seen conflict raging for decades. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you would expect that or hope that it's going to happen. So it's partly human nature, but they are not in denial.
Me, I'm sorry. It's very emotional for me because I see European people with blue eyes and blonde hair being killed, children being killed every day with Putin's missiles and his helicopters and his rockets.
And so, of course, I understand and respect the emotion. What you are outlining there is this tension between longer-term efforts to apply pressure to Vladimir Putin, such as financial sanctions, and the very immediate military threat which you're experiencing.
Now the unthinkable has happened to them. And this is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
This is Europe, civilized. blonde-haired, blue eyes. In case you didn't get it, an op-ed in the Telegraph wants to make it even more clear for you, writing, quote, "They seem so like us. That is what it makes it so shocking. Ukraine is a European country. Its people watch Netflix and have Instagram accounts, vote in free elections, and have uncensored newspapers. War is no longer something visited upon impoverished and remote populations. It can happen to anyone." All just seemingly a bunch of different ways of trying to say, oh my God, they're killing white people. Now, these reporters and analysts clearly expect that the white American and European majorities will care more about the humanity of these particular victims because we share similar levels of melanin. And that is certainly part of what's going on here. After all, you do see some countries right now opening their arms to the white refugees of the Ukraine war while closing their doors to those from Africa and the Middle East. It's easier to otherize people who don't look like
A little slowdown over here, guys. Give me a second.
I can't tell if she's trying to be sarcastic or what.
Yeah, she's really weird in her approach, man.
I think
or have different cultural
there's a little
practices or
sarcasm in what
traditions or
she's saying.
religions. But melanin solidarity is not actually the real story here. Playing to a shared racial and cultural identity, it's really just a tool. It's a means to an end that the news media is using to persuade Americans that they should care more about the people in this conflict than in any number of other conflicts that they are not covering whatsoever. This is a classic case of the phenomenon Noam Chomsky and Edward Herman describe in Manufacturing Consent, how the media picks worthy and unworthy victims, choosing which stories, protests, wars, famines are worthy of coverage and worthy of displaying the humanity of the people impacted, and which should either be ignored completely or actively demonized. And the deciding factor here is not actually race or culture or which continent the events happen to be unfolding on. The deciding factor is which narratives are most convenient for the US government. Just ask yourself this question. Why was it that for decades of the Afghan war, the Afghan civilians killed by the US state were considered unworthy victims? Then for a brief period during our withdrawal from Afghanistan, suddenly Afghan civilians were worthy victims. And then the news media cared deeply about the fate of the women and girls who would live under Taliban rule. Then, just as suddenly, now that there is a mass famine caused by our own cruel theft of the Afghan government funds, Afghan civilians are once again unworthy victims. The ethnicity, cultural practices, and level of development of the country did not change. What changed was which narrative was convenient for our state. In fact, within the very same country, at the very same time, some victims were deemed worthy and covered as such, but by the media, while others were not. So victims of American drone strikes, unworthy. The Afghan girls robotics team, worthy. All because of what the US state wanted highlighted and what they wanted suppressed. It's disgraceful how the corporate news media is happy to manipulate Americans' most noble humanitarian impulses and channel them in directions that are convenient for US power. And you can see this dynamic playing out right now all over the world. In our own country, within liberal media, COVID victims have frequently been given worthy treatment, while victims of drug overdoses have been given unworthy treatment. Looking around the world, Cuban protesters in Hong Kong.
So she goes on to other stuff, but then I want to show this other video here. This one is, so this is like little videos of proof of what's happening over there. So I want to get to that real quick and then we can discuss. Here we go. So full screen. Now, here.
To get on board. So if you're black and then you go there, you're wasting your time. So we didn't even bother ourselves. We just went to take a bus and then headed to this place.
Yeah, because usually there were black people that were already there that were turning around, looking for the borders and other routes because they stood there for a long time and they were not getting on the train because they were stopping them. So they were warning us not to even try to go there because they will not allow us. That is why we didn't go for the train and try to find another route.
And how does that make you feel to hear things like that?
I don't know. I miss it.
A black woman is seen being denied boarding onto a train believed to be evacuating civilians in Ukraine away from the advance of Russia from the east. No verbal reason is given for the denial, but moments later, a white woman is allowed to board the same train.
So there was a lot.
What do you think?
It's fucked up. Like I said, the men have no say in the matter because men are staying behind the fight. But women and children should all be allowed on the train, regardless of color, creed.
Well, again, and I hate to say it, but this is
These
a
are-
pure. Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
These are black Ukrainians or black Americans?
I think they're African.
African.
Africans that were there for schooling or whatever, right?
Okay.
So they had the order to evacuate, but when the
I don't
train
think they're all students, though, Anzo. Some
maybe
of them
not
are
all of
pretty
them.
old, huh?
Yeah, maybe not all of them.
Some live there, maybe some there on work visas or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But that's the thing, though. You know what I mean? Now they're trying to get out, and it's like you letting the white people on the train first. This is why we say, guys, and I know some of you don't want to hear it, but this is a pure example of fucking white privilege. That's exactly what it is, man. They literally told the black men them they couldn't come on and then let a white woman on right before that. Now, also, you can say the story, well, we ain't get the full context, but I mean, there's really not much context you need to get.
Is it white privilege or is it racism, or is that one and the same?
I think it could be considered one and the same. I think
the people could be just racist.
That is true too. That is true too. But also, for them to do that, I think they would have to have orders. You know what I mean? Yello, I sent you the link, man. You had it already. But what I was saying is, there has to be orders from high above, you know? Okay, make sure all the white people get out first, you know, don't let the black people on the train. That's what it is, Danny. That's I guarantee you that's what it was, man.
I don't know if I can co-sign that.
It's okay. That's exactly what it was, bro.
That's tough. If it is, that's fucked up.
I believe 100% that's what it is. What up, Poe? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Glad you could make it. But yeah, I believe 100% that's what it is. You know what I mean? No one's gonna take that on their own, right? You, especially that you on a train, right? And you see a crowd of fucking black people trying to get on, but you like, no, you can't come on. You good, but you can't come on, right? I think you're not gonna take that on your own. I think you have to have orders from high above where someone says, okay, maybe it's hey, all the rich people on first. Maybe it's all this people on first. Ladies, children, rich people, white people, and then blacks. Guaranteed you we are on the bottom of that list to get out of there. Hands down, we are bottom of that motherfucking list. What do you think, Roberto?
I'm gonna try something different.
They might not even be on the list.
What do you say, Danny?
Rent me a car or something, get the fuck out of there. One way is the damn Exodus.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're trying to go back to Africa, you know what I mean? You need to get to there.
No,
yeah.
I'm trying to get that damn town.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to get the range of them damn missiles. Maybe I can catch a train somewhere else but I ain't talking about no de-escalation. I'm just saying, boy, that's a fucked up order if that's what it is. That's all I'm saying.
If I don't see them letting any men on the train, any men at all, white, black, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they don't let a black woman on. It's racist. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what
There's
it is.
no other way to look at it. It's just fucking racist. They don't want us on the train. If you let that woman on, then them fucking black men just gotta accept it. It's only women and children on the train. You ain't a woman. You ain't a child. Stop fucking complaining. Use it validly. It ain't because you're black. It's because you're a man. The other men are going and grabbing weapons. If you don't want to fight, don't fight.
Hey, Roberto, guess what? Man, this is a true story. We was on this manhunt, man. The guy escaped from
What's up, Yello?
So he got to the house.
What's up, brother?
And he put on a dress, his girlfriend wig, lipstick, got all dolled up, man. Got in the car and tried to pass himself on to the girl. One also looking, hey, man, get your ass out the car. So what I be trying to do, man, I be trying to go get me a wig.
At least you make the effort.
You know what I mean?
Some makeup. Hey,
you didn't hear people here dressed like dogs to try and get out after 8 o'clock on curfew.
Yeah. What's up, Yello? What you saying?
What's up, Yello?
Yo, that's probably why they stopped all the women from leaving too. You feel what I'm saying? Because of the racism, make it so they can't tell them apart anyway.
Yeah.
Y'all think I'm joking?
I'm just saying that's a crazy order if it come up from up top, boy. That
fam, they all doing it at every motherfucking checkpoint. Of course, it's coming from up. You think they just decide? I mean, it could be. It could be everybody at every checkpoint. It's like, yeah, we don't like niggas together.
I ain't saying it ain't. I'm just saying that is an extremely fucked up order. If that's what's coming from the top, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely, it's fucked up.
Don't let the blacks on the train.
Well, you know, it's prioritize Ukrainians, right? That's what it is.
Right.
That's what the order is.
And it's probably because they're, from Africa studying overseas or whatever, they're not prioritized to get out of there. But at the same time, it does seem like it's like, it's black people. You know what I mean? Because
black people are the easiest. Oh, you're all right. So stand over there.
Right. Exactly. It's crazy.
It's always like that.
It's fucking bananas,
globally
man.
Hated by all. Damn.
Hey, honestly, we kind of are hated by a lot of fucking
That's
people.
A hell of a title. That's a hell of a title, boy, to
have. But what are your thoughts on the matter, Yello, since you just popped up in here?
Racism, man. That's, good old fashioned, like pure unadulterated racism. It's fucking racist, man.
Absolutely, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like that's, and if I have to then explain, how I feel about racism, for anybody who might not know that racism is bad, you might want to look inside yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Because like it's fucking racist. That's what it is. I just saw a video of some chick who had to walk 12 hours to from the cab getting stopped in traffic, had to walk 12 hours to some kind of checkpoint, some kind of border, and then they was like, nah, you're not leaving.
Oh, really?
Facts.
Oh, shit. That's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just, it is what it is. But I'm like Roberto and Donnie said, man, there's certain places you just don't go. You know what I mean? And that is one
I'll pay a little more to go to a school somewhere else where I know I can, take care of my shit. Started saving a little bucks and get treated like fucking garbage.
I know one thing. I can tell you this with certainty. If they get out of there, you ain't gonna never worry about their ass going back for a return. They can get them
Hold
free.
on. Next time, you promise you let me go?
they can offer free education. Them suckers ain't going back there, buddy.
Absolutely, 100%. So now we're gonna get into the final topic that we had today. You know what I mean? Donnie was like, yo, I want to do something on the show today. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. All right, let's do it. So first we're gonna show a little context. I just got to find it of why all of this stuff started, right? Let me see if I can find the video. But don't worry, Roberto. You will see, my friend. You will see. And I know you don't know nothing about it because it's like YouTube drama and shit. So I know you ain't know nothing about it, right? So it's going to be interesting to get your take, to be honest with you. So you haven't seen the Batman movie yet, have you, Roberto?
I'm just finding out, all kinds of things about Batman that I thought I knew, but I didn't know.
Like?
I didn't know Batman was an investigator and the Dark Knight is a superhero and all of these things like that. All these references I'm hearing, I'm like, what?
Well, Batman is a superhero, but he's also supposed to be a master detective as well, right? So the movie came out, and
I thought it was just a guy who saw his parents die, got fucking slapped by a bunch of bats, and thought he was a bat, and he could do shit with all of his toys. That's how I saw Batman as a kid. He ain't no superhero. If he gets cut, he bleeds. He fucking gets beaten up and shit, but he comes back.
Nah, Batman don't hardly get beat up, bro. He be on the giving end of the ass whipping.
Yeah, he be
Honor
beating like the whole Justice League and shit. He be beating up Superman and shit.
Yeah,
All
it's,
kinds of
that's
it's
bullshit.
very
shit.
it's very seldom you see Batman on the receiving end of ass cutting.
Mm-hmm. So the Batman movie came out, and this is going to be interesting.
You forget those Batman and Robin with those big pow and slam.
Yeah,
Giving him some bitch slaps, eh? You forget the old Batman, eh, Daddy?
I don't even count that shit.
I count that shit because that was the original shit.
No, we are
real.
We are way past that Batman.
I'm sorry. That's I'm sorry. You can't forget my history because it wasn't part of your guys' history.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And
I watch
you were
that every day.
You are absolutely right, because when I talk about Spider-Man and I say Toby was like more comic book accurate, the comic books I'm referring to are the ones that when we were growing up. But as I got older,
Rhino used to drop some licks on Spider-Man, boy.
Right, and the comics that we that happened after, they made like he's not really as nerdy as like the nerds that we knew growing up. You know what I mean? He's more
Change
like
with the times and
yeah.
Nah, that's bullshit. Peter Parker was not a nerd like how Toby was in that movie ever in time. Even when he first came out, he would say slick, wild shit. He would pop up. He fought Flash Thompson. That's a real thing that he really beat that nigga's ass. Like stood up to him and all. So like there's not no and Peter stayed with chicks. There's not no nerd. Tobey Maguire was a weirdo. He was a full psycho, bro.
Anyways,
that's because
we didn't get on here to talk no Tobey Maguire.
My fault. Falsehoods. You feel what I'm saying? I gotta correct all falsehoods.
Toby's the best, and that's all it is, right?
That's irrelevant.
So Roberto,
so this shit's about Batman.
It's about the movie. So here is a comment that started it all right? So I want to hear what you have to say about this. Listen to what this guy has to say.
Who is this guy?
This clown from Geeks and Gamers. Oh, hold on.
Good people.
Hold on.
But there were only a couple good people in this movie. You had Bruce Wayne, Batman, and you had Alfred. Those are the only two good white people. The rest of the three other major players that I would consider like overall like moral good people.
Yo, can we pause it real quick?
You had Jim Gordon, who's black in this.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Yello.
Started off with a couple of good people.
Yes.
A couple of good people.
Yes.
Named a couple people and then had to, oh wait, that's right. Sorry, I forgot that like those motherfuckers is people too.
Were white. Yes.
What I meant to say was white people. That's what I meant to say.
Yes. The minute he was like, "Oh, the white people," that's like, "Yo, bro, what are you trying to say?"
It's
right?
too bad you can't see my face because my face, like, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Why are these things? Why are these conversations getting my heartbeat all regular?
That's what we here to do, bro. All right, let's continue. It's almost done.
You had Catwoman, who's not white in this, and then you had the mayor, who's a black woman.
White.
Again, very much on the nose for current day Hollywood. Did not like that. But
so that's
he said he did not like the fact that she was black.
I think it's
yes, that's what he said. That's what he said. Don't fucking sugarcoat that shit.
He said current Hollywood on the nose, and he did not like the fact that
all the good people were black. That's what he didn't like.
Yes.
That there were more good black people than good white people.
Wasn't Catwoman always black?
No, not always, but she
has more times than not.
No.
Well, in the 60s, wasn't she black?
Yes.
There were three black Catwomen. There was Eartha Kitt, there was Lee Lumar, and there was Lee Merriweather. Eartha Kitt played the Catwoman at least out of the three.
Okay.
Hold on.
But she was played
Wasn't
by
Halle
a black
Berry
person.
Catwoman?
Yeah, Halle Berry, but we don't talk about that shit.
She's black.
Okay, there was only three black Catwomen. Eartha Kitt, Halle Berry, and now Zoe.
Okay.
Right. So it's not a stretch. The thing is, it's not a stretch that she was played by a black person because she has been played by a black person before.
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
And apparently, and I don't know if this is true, but apparently the original comic version of Catwoman was based on a black woman just like turned white. And multiple times in the comic book, she has been represented as all kinds of different ethnicities. So
right. So now that led to one of this guy's friends or acquaintances or whatever who he streams with is a black guy. He's a co-host. He made a tweet, And that tweet hit Mr. Jody's corner. And this is what resulted in it. First off, the title of this video is fucking hilarious. So he titles it, Morbidly Obese Egg-Shaped Man with a Show Nobody Watches Tries to Insult an Athletic Married Man. Okay? So we're going to get into some of the little stuff that happened on there, and then, you know, we can discuss YouTube
Watch these
drama.
guys with their studios and shit, huh?
Yeah, Danny. Yeah, Roberto. So let me get to where he gets onto the show.
I ain't with y'all.
So here.
Time he works for me. You know
They
what I'm
call
saying?
him
And I'm
onto the
hiring my
show.
Other homies and shit that we.
Let me go
All
back.
right, bro. Andy, I'm gonna go.
Here we go. So here's where he comes onto the show.
Yeah, my nigga Rippa.
What's up?
Been looking for you, dog. Welcome to Jody's Corner, honey.
What's up? I didn't know I was joining like a group of cats. I didn't know that.
Oh, you'll be talking to him.
Don't worry, they ain't gonna say shit.
Well, that's all good.
No, this group of cats is the Just Us League.
Okay.
I hire my black brother here full time. He works for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hiring my other homies and shit that we came up in the streets with. You know what real black men do.
Okay, congratulations.
So
I got a problem.
Let me pause
with
right
your
there
tweet.
because okay, so Jody, right, the guy that's talking, he usually has like 6 fucking people in his stream, and he's bragging about hiring 2 of them. That's not even 50% of the people that be working for you.
6 people, like 6 people in his stream, like his show, or
constantly.
6 people watching him.
No, in his show, constantly.
Okay.
The same 6 people over and over again. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So here we go with the rest of it. It's just
I'm a little lost right now. I thought we were talking about Batman. But
these niggas is just gonna scream obscenities at each other and make 0 points,
Right.
and then they're gonna, and then a whole bunch of people on the internet are gonna pretend one of them won.
Okay.
This shit
Right.
is mad fucking stupid.
And that's the reason why we brought up, because of the YouTube, it's YouTube drama, right? And I'm thinking, and I guess Danny's probably on the same page with me. Like, is this really fucking worth it, right, Danny? Is that what you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Look, we all come on this show, this platform for different things. Some come over to make a living. Some come over to express their opinions. Some come like me just to have fun. To me, it's crazy to waste your energy going on somebody that you probably will never ever meet in your life. And if you just don't like them, don't click on the show. Or if y'all streaming and y'all don't get out with each other, stop streaming with them. I don't understand the back and forth and all this kind of crazy stuff. I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't.
Nor do
Just
I.
from the outside looking in, these
That shit
wars
looks
and beef that's going on is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But they enjoy it though, right? They must enjoy it because they're doing it.
It must
right?
get clicks. Get clicks, or it might be something that they set up that's let's stage, man. Let's see if this brings
rap
some heat
beef?
or whatever, or get some views or something.
Could be.
I don't know.
It could be.
But to me, and like I said, I'm just a little small channel. I don't make no dent in nothing. I get on here because I enjoy being with a certain group, certain community that I'm in. But this is crazy.
And you know the thing that like really irks me, and it's like someone will make a take. So right, I can make a take, right? Oh, The Dark World is the best MCU movie that they ever made. And because I don't agree, or someone doesn't agree with me, they're gonna want to go and trash me on a video now, right? Like, oh my God, listen to what this guy said, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, why do you care what someone else thinks? You know what I mean? Just because it doesn't agree with,
because they
what
got
you
no
agree with.
material, they got no fucking content. They got to piggyback on somebody else's fame
and figure.
Well,
hey,
it's not just that.
Yeah,
some people can't even really perceive the world unless it's through like an antagonistic context. They don't even understand something unless they can disagree with somebody about it. You know what I mean? I know you know people like that who argue for no reason.
Yeah.
I know y'all think I'm like that. That's not the case. I just think y'all dumb. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay, feeling mutual, motherfucker.
But
You know what I mean?
nah, but for real, you know, some people are just always looking for a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even when they agree, they want to like find a reason not to.
I agree, and I think I used to be like that. If I don't know, Roberto, no, I used to look. Hey, man, I used to look for fights. You know what I mean? Roberto, they'd be like arguing and shit. Like, you know, bro, fuck that. You know what I mean?
You like it.
Yeah, but as I got onto this platform, right, and I realized that we're not all invincible. So sooner or later, we may say something that someone don't like, and they're gonna come at us, right? But me personally, I'm not gonna come at somebody because they think the Batman is a great movie, is a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Or something on their views or anything. It's like, hey, that's what you think. Fuck you. I just won't watch your shit because I don't agree with anything you say. But to sit there and there's a lot of YouTube channels that look for this type of stuff so that they can make content on it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I just
Clipping
think
people and clip
right.
shit all out of context. If you're gonna clip something and you're gonna go at somebody, play the whole shit and then make your intelligent argument. Don't
Facts.
clip just a piece that if you don't hear the whole story, then you can say, "Oh, Danny said such and such and such." Oh, look, motherfucker, did you hear the first 10 minutes of the doggone conversation? No, you
Right.
clip 5 seconds when I said something, and now you're blowing up like I'm all on this particular person's jock or whatever the situation is. And that
Mhm.
ain't the case.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I hate about YouTube.
Yeah, they do it all the time. They clip it out of context. And even you could say, even though we understood what he was saying, because it's not like he hasn't done racist rhetoric like that before, right? But the video I showed before this, you can even say that that could have been clipped out of context, because I sure he did a bigger review of the movie than just that little one piece. But because we, or at least some of us, have understood and seen what type of product they put out there, then you could put 2 and 2 together. But there is a lot of clipping out there, 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I
and
thought it was just a short story.
What was a short story?
You know, like when you get a book and you just don't feel like reading the whole book, so you read that back page.
The back of the book to
Try and figure the shit out, all on that. You know?
Yeah, I've done that many times. I remember I used to do book reports.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time.
Use the back of
Didn't
the
get me
book
very
as my
far,
book
but
report.
you know what? The effort was there.
Shit.
But just
Facts.
before we go any forward, could I
Yes.
know what we're moving forward with? Like, did this brother do something wrong that these 3 guys on the side are gonna diss him now and shit?
Okay,
They're gonna diss each other.
Right.
Okay.
And
what about Batman?
Matter of fact,
No.
hold on, because the other
Yeah.
2 niggas, they don't say nothing. They just like
at all. Right.
like
It's
window
just these two going back and forth. But what he does is, and they show it in this, he makes a tweet which is basically defending what the other guy was saying. He's saying he didn't defend, but me and Yello were talking about it. I was like, yeah, you definitely did. You know,
Oh,
what
he's
I mean?
defending what that guy made the white and black comments.
Right. And you
Yeah.
want to explain why he was defending him, Yello, when he says he wasn't?
This is the bullshit, bro. Like, first, let me just run back to what the white dude said, right? Because like that's and yes, he's white, guys. Like that's the like he really comes out here and says, look at what Hollywood is doing. Look at what Hollywood is doing, right? That's how he opens this shit. Like, I don't know if that's how he said it, but that's his whole point. Look at what Hollywood. Look at the agenda. There's not enough good white people in this movie, and I didn't like that so much. So let me ask you a question, brother. Just to try to understand how you think the world looks right up to this point. If this is something you're complaining about, you're saying, look at Hollywood's agenda. Do you think that's a change from before? If that's the case, what was they doing before?
Right. Exactly.
What was happening before that now that this change has occurred, you're so upset about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how come every brown dude, no matter what his race, you put a towel on his head, that's a terrorist? You know what I'm saying? He could be a Mexican coming out the shower. Who said it? A Mexican coming out the shower, terrorist. Great comedian. I can't remember who said that. Hilarious joke. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, for years and years, you've seen all of the dark-skinned people be the bad guy for so long, right?
Yes.
Now you start to see a little bit of balance, a little bit more balance. What did he count it out? 3-2? Come on, what are we talking about here? What are we 3-2? That's a game of like, what is that? That's rock, paper, scissors, bro.
And even to your point, Yello, how many movies and Roberto and Danny have you watched back in the day where there was not one fucking black person in that movie?
Fam, not a single one.
When he was there, he was there for 15 minutes. First person killed off or something.
Oh,
in the horror movies, exactly.
Oh, there's the black guy. He's the first one. How did you know? Rocket science, fuck.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So like Yello said, yeah, we have a history of watching all of these, so-called good white people doing good white people shit. But now that they're fucking showing a
good white
couple
people
of
shit
black
is
people
hilarious.
doing some stuff, it's a problem.
Right.
In one movie,
when nothing in here really, like, it's very little about race, right?
Yeah,
Very little
exactly.
about race. The only time it's brought up is one Selena Kyle, and she clearly has a specific kind of perspective, right?
Right.
So it's like, come on, what are we talking about, man?
And in that perspective, she wasn't really talking about all white people. She was talking about the higher ups, you know what I mean? That type of thing, you know? So it had a lot to do with classism as well. So let's listen to this. Because Roberto, strap in, because this shit.
So then, hold on, no, but
Oh, yeah, go
then
ahead.
this
Go
dude
ahead.
puts out the tweet
Yes.
saying, because what he does is he doesn't say, this is why what he said was right. That's not what he says, right? And that's the bullshit that he tries to pull and pretend like he's not defending them. And it's not how that works. What he does is he immediately goes to discredit anybody who has anything to say against what his man said. He calls them weirdos. He said they talking nonsense, all this stuff, and then blah, 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 just because he says something about a movie or something, like diminishes what the dude said, diminishes what his boy did, and then calls everybody who disagrees with him weirdos and all kinds of, and tries to discredit them. What's the first thing? Danny, you a police officer, right? I assume that you've been involved in some investigations before, right? Like, if you got a witness who seemed a little faulty, right, or a witness who's going against what seemed like the facts are, what do they try to do? They try to discredit the witness. No, is that not part of the defense's strategy?
That is correct.
Fuck out of here, bro. If a defense attorney is doing it, I don't see how it cannot be defending your man's. But listen, I'm just a man who understands how words work. You feel what I'm saying? But that's, I don't know. I just hate when niggas try to sound smart. They say dumb shit. Like, I just hate that shit so much.
And
that's why I cuss and say nigga so often, because I don't want people to think I sound smart.
But you know what?
Don't fucking confuse me, motherfucker.
That is a point that you're making, because it is a kind of a way to say something, right?
Fam,
and then when it comes back at you,
when the
you
rape
can say, no, that's not what I was saying.
Yeah, bullshit, bro.
You know what I mean?
Bullshit.
No, that's not what my words say. But what do your words mean, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not what they say. But what do they mean? That's the thing, right?
It's bullshit, bro.
All right. And Roberto strapping, because you were going to laugh your ass off at some of this shit. Trust me.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I don't know. I know you from the stream where Zack Snyder came in and pulled his cock out and put it in Ryan's mouth and said, I don't F with you geeks and gamers niggas. And then he put it in Uchi's mouth and says, I don't F with you geeks and gamers niggas. I ain't with y'all. Completely disrespected the geeks and gamers name and brand. And your boy Ryan was just sitting up there shocked and stunned and didn't ride for his. Then I remember a stream that happened after that, not too soon after that, where you had something to say about that. You said if you was there, you would have said something to Zack Snyder. You would have went down like that. How niggas was just bending over, not repping geeks and gamers. You said you would have repped that shit, right?
No, I didn't say I rip shit because I ain't in geeks and gamers. So, but I would have checked them.
Geeks and gamers, but don't they fan base support you?
Yeah, they fan base support me, but I'm not a member of Geeks and Gamers. No, I'm not a member. If it was my clique, I would just say that I'm a member of Geeks and Gamers. I'm not.
But everybody in that community support each other.
Yeah, I mean, they support me, but I'm not a member of Geeks and Gamers. Is a organization that is owned by Jeremy, which Ryan is a part of. I am not in that crew.
So are you saying that your success isn't hugely predicated to Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers?
What? No, I've been on YouTube since 2006, 2007. So no, my success is not predicated to Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers. I have a larger following than Jeremy and Geeks and Gamers.
What was that, Yellow?
It doesn't prove anything. He's like, I've been on here for so long. That doesn't actually prove anything. The larger following, maybe that's, lends some credit to what you're saying. Maybe.
Yeah. And I believe he does, because he has like over 400K subs, right? So.
And I've had a longer following since I have been on this platform.
Isn't it safe to say that, in my opinion, I'm only noticing you in the last 3-4 years as far as doing something? You might have been here since 2006, but you wasn't popping, my nigga.
But we can't keep it a buck. I've had how many subscribers do you have on your channel?
Exactly.
Serious question. All right, you have 60K. I had 60K long before I was even doing streams with Geeks and Gamers.
And let me pause for a second.
That ain't shit.
Like we talked about how he was saying, he was defending. Jody could have won this argument very easy. Very easy.
Could he though? Is he dumb?
That's the thing though. Like if you stick to it instead of this dick measuring style. You could arrest
And
him.
did he lose? I don't even like. He didn't look. Both of these niggas was both sounded dumb. Though. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you right. You right because
I hated this shit. I
they didn't
struggled to watch any of this shit. These motherfuckers was ranting and raving about the shit on the internet. Oh, check out this guy who takes Jody down, and they all excited. I'm like, who is this thing? First thing I noticed, oh, he be on that Black Republican shit. I understand. I know exactly what happened here. He knows 3 big words.
So
and everybody fucking loves.
All right, well, congratulations on that, on being shadow banned. I don't know what that has to do with me though. Because I'm telling you, objectively speaking, I've had a following long before I was ever I'd even known Jeremy.
It's like
that's
30
not
minutes long, 40 minutes long. It's like 30 or 40 minutes long. It's not
not an opinion. That's a fact.
Keep it a stack, bro. You got tens, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers because of your collaborations with Geeks and Gamers over the years.
No, I don't understand how much sense. All right, I have 400 and how many subscribers do you know that Geeks and Gamers has?
Let's it's cool. I'm gonna say that you're right because I don't want to talk about this shit. Let's move on.
Well, you're all right. Well, as long as you know that you were completely incorrect in that assessment, I mean, we can go wherever you want.
Completely incorrect. You don't owe none of your success to Geeks and Gamers. I got you, my nigga. We both know it's cap, but
there's no cap. No, ain't no cap. It's an objective fact. Like we have, there's Social Blade. We have all of these receipts. I have no. Hold on. Let me explain this. I have. Why? All right. I have more subscribers than Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
You know what I mean?
And the Geeks and Gamers channel.
Neurotic, but he still owes Jeremy.
Why? All right. Why on earth would I, having been on this space as long?
Like you more, my nigga. What do you want?
All right. So just because they like me, what the fuck does that have to do with my individual success on this platform? That came, objectively speaking, that came long before I knew who Jeremy was.
Which is?
Let me tell you 100%.
This nigga got his audio so much louder than them.
Oh,
no collaborations.
I don't care about that. I don't know what that has to do with any of the shit that you're talking. I had 60,000 subscribers before I knew who Jeremy was.
And your 60,000 subscribers.
Yo, just skip this, bro. Just skip ahead a little bit because
what the fuck does that mean?
17 times. Like,
it means look where I'm at with 60K, my nigga. I got my own studio, dog.
Congratulations, have your own studio. I have my own studio. What does that mean?
My nigga, take me in the next room right now.
I have for what? This is where. All right, so this is where I record my shit, and I have a what?
My house is big.
Like they're really talking about like
no, yeah. Do I live in a
who
studio?
have
Yes,
this
I
and
do
who
live
have
here.
that, you know what I mean?
Yes, it is a studio because I built a studio out of my house, which is almost 400,000 square feet.
Nobody lives here.
400,000 square feet.
That's what he said. 400,000 square foot house.
Now, let's be real here. We're supposed to be talking about the tweet. You know what I mean?
That's supposed to be talking about. These niggas ain't talking about shit. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a big ass house, boy. A studio that's 400,000 square feet.
No. The house is fun enough.
Yeah, the house is and then he built a studio in the house. But even still, like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with building a studio in your house?
Ain't nothing wrong. That's dumb. This nigga just dumb. Look at that little tight ass room you in. You don't know nothing about this nigga, bro. You don't know nothing about this nigga. Can't talk about what you came here to talk about. What the fuck is this dumb? This is what I'm talking about, bro.
Exactly. Hold on. I know there's
all right, congratulations. You built a studio off your house.
I think it's here.
Well, I see that anybody can sit up there and
that's that nervous drink, bro. Let's just talk about it. I did it on my own.
I don't honestly, dog. I don't give a shit about that, man.
Let's talk about this tweet, my nigga. Let's talk about this tweet. The tweet was you in response to Ryan, his racist statements that he made in that clip. He said he was upset that there was too many good black people in the Batman movie. And you as a black man don't see how other black people could see that as racist.
Well, I see that anybody can sit up there and
that's that nervous drink, bro. Let's just talk.
Nah, it's called fucking hydration. It's called hydration, and by the looks of your out of shape fat ass, you probably need a little bit of that as well. It would help a lot. Nah, if you stay hydrated, this is spring water too, by the way. If you stay hydrated,
what's that?
What are you talking about, bro? I'm fat as fuck. This is my second gallon of water right here. This shit is just dumb. This shit is just dumb.
He went in for the juggler just now, boy.
No, he didn't. That's the weakest shit he could say.
No,
that's for real.
It's funny to me, man. I'm just saying.
I thought it was funny too when I heard it. But
I like fat jokes. That was you fat nigga, drink water. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
He's saying you drink a lot of water that doesn't help. But I think
it
he
make
was
no
more.
difference.
I think he
Make
was
no
more
difference.
talking about a health thing. You know what I mean?
Just in
Drinking
general,
water
yeah,
for health,
yeah, clearly. But that's the problem, right?
Right. Right.
See, ain't saying what
Hydrated.
he
If you
trying to
stay
say. He trying to
hydrated,
say,
you probably wouldn't have to worry about.
sharp
You
shit.
probably wouldn't have to worry about all them fucking issues that probably are associated with you being a fat motherfucker. Nonetheless, to answer your question, I can certainly see how someone I can absolutely see where someone would look at what Ryan said, remove that context, and get offended out of that. That's their business. What it is that you have a problem with in regards to what it is that I said.
You can see how people see that as racist.
Taking it out of context, yes.
Yo,
there's a lot of stupid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, what? Yo, Danny, you saw it a little bit, right? Again, you police officer, you have a lot of history with motherfuckers lying and shit, or you not getting the whole truth, trying to figure out what the whole story is, right? You had to listen to side A and side B on multiple occasions, I would imagine. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What more context do you think he can add to those statements that he made? That's gonna, like, what?
When I heard
help
that,
me, man.
I would write it down and put an asterisk beside it. Like this.
You feel like what? Yo, Roberto, help me, man. What more context? You like to be giving people the benefit of the doubt, and you like to see things from another perspective and all that. Where's the what more context could he add to that? That's gonna, like, what is it?
I don't know, man. This seems like two bitches having an argument in a fucking parking lot.
For real.
I'm really trying to these three guys there. The guy in the middle, Jody. Does he hate Rippa? Is
To be honest with you, I don't even think they really know of each other. They maybe know of, like, seen him on a stream or something other than that, but
this is embarrassing.
This gotta be for clicks or something, man. It gotta be for clicks or something.
It is.
Who's clicking this? Who's clicking this? What interest is there?
Right,
you want to know what the interest is, Roberto? Hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you.
How many views this shit get?
119,000 views.
I keep saying this world is a scared place, man.
Did I had 11,000 likes just now on that?
It has 11,000 likes. Yes, that is correct. Hold on, let me show that.
Yo, dude, get busy, man. Whatever he's doing on YouTube, people like it. But you know what?
Respect.
People really like the black people who talk against black people a lot. So you see that all the time.
11,000 likes. That is crazy.
11,000 likes and 119 views. So that answers your question, Roberto. Who's watching this? People, they love this drama stuff, and this is the stuff we're talking about. Like, we're probably not gonna watch all this whole thing because it really is hard to watch.
It's hard to watch. He get paid,
what I mean?
so he doesn't learn how to crack the algorithm. So from a business standpoint, if that's what his goal is, then
respect.
He's doing his thing. But I don't think I would make myself like an idiot just to get clicks unless I truly didn't give a fuck what people think.
Maybe it's a role. After he closes his video, he's really a nice guy. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know anymore, man. Because if someone's like this 24/7 and people are supporting him, how can you be mad for who he is? He's getting support, man.
Mm-hmm. And both of them have their support, right? The Jody guy, he comes from the MSK community, and they have a lot of issue with what happened between them and that channel. We won't get into that. If you guys want to know, you can find it on Paul's channel. You can find it on MSK's channel.
So this is what we got to do, Nzo?
I believe so. 100%.
But this, honestly, this
Poe
is
sent a
what I got
$5
in this
super
for,
chicker.
man.
Thank you, Poe. Much appreciated. Me neither, Roberto. That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was just, this is a platform for people to speak their piece and have people who are more or less on the same page and can have an open discussion. Man, was I thinking wrong.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this. When I first came on YouTube, right, I came around where drama started happening, which was between Fatal J and the same Jody dude, right? And I remember telling Donnie, I'm like, yo, this shit happens on YouTube? What am I, in high school? I'm like, I don't even know if I want to be a part of YouTube after seeing all of this bullshit, And he's like, nah, don't worry. It didn't want to affect you or anything like that, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just like, grow the fuck up. We are all adults on this fucking platform. If you don't agree with someone, you don't agree with them. So what?
And I thought we were going to talk about Batman. Like, I don't even know what the fuck we were talking about anymore. You know what I mean?
YouTube drama, Roberto.
That's how racism gets you, bro. That's how racism gets you, son. It come from everywhere. It diffuses everything. That shit come from all directions. He ain't nowhere to run, ain't nowhere to hide.
But at the end of the day, it gets clicks, right? So what happened was this guy's tweet, the one we showed the first one, the white guy's tweet, was popping on Twitter.
He knew as soon as he mentioned white.
Exactly.
Everybody's like,
Yes.
Did he just say that? Did he really fucking say
Right.
that? You're getting all those kind of reactions, right?
So now his shit is popping. So people are like, oh, YouTube algorithm. If we do videos on this, we are going to pop as well. That's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? So one does
Chasing
a
the
video.
algo.
Yes, one does a video, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, we'll do one. Then this guy gets wind of what they said, and then he goes in on it because he knows, right? Jody knows that if he gets Rippa, which he did, that is going to blow up as well. So it's all about getting clicks because that 100K video brought in money.
It's hard to turn down that money, man. Once you found a thing, everybody looking for that
But how do
video
you
to go
follow that up?
viral. Everybody looking for that viral video, but then once you find a steady income stream, it's bad to say.
Fake fucking content. How do you follow it up, Danny?
You don't care.
I mean, you make that one video and make all that, and then that's it. Your career's over.
But I'm saying he figured out the algorithm. He figured out what's
Right.
getting clicks because now he's now you got to pay for his house. He probably the only. I don't know nothing about Jody. I'm just assuming this thing. He might be the only one, the breadwinner. I'm sure he got a family. He employ a certain number of people. So once you get the responsibilities, you gotta
right. And
selling your soul.
And what you're asking, Roberto, you just start making videos hating everything.
But I can't.
I know. Me neither. That's not what we're here for. We're here to have
I'm good
fun,
with the
right?
people we're with, man.
Right, but that's how you get it. Like negativity sells.
Negative
right?
stuff sells, bro.
Like Rob went viral because he trashed fucking Parasite one day, and the way he did it, that shit just blew up. You know what I mean?
God, the sucker had
who Storms?
Yeah. But he went. You need to watch that. He got drunk one night and watched the Oscars. And Parasite won something.
Drunk Rob.
Oh my God.
We started the show because of Drunk Rob one night. No.
Yeah.
Making that game change. Show didn't last long though.
Yeah. But what else you think, Roberto? What's up, Sean? How you doing? Glad you guys can make it in the chat. Much appreciated. What any more thoughts on it, Yello? We can see if they actually get into the matter of what they're supposed to be discussing. So they have a little bit here.
Yeah, they're about to get into it a little bit right now.
Right. They're about to get into it a little bit, and then it goes off the rails. So let's hear what they have to say about it.
With people on the internet, man, they'll reach at anything.
Based on that clip, you can see it as racist, how people can take it as racist. Good. I'm glad that we're getting somewhere here. And in comes you with a tweet response calling people crackheads.
Nervous drinking, by the way, guys. Yeah, nervous drinking.
Calling people crackheads, my nigga.
Yeah, I call people crack.
Looking to defend and dodge. For real?
I call people crackheads all the time, man. That's like a statement. You know, we're probably gonna make some merchandise out of that. I call people crackheads all the time. That is a term that is associated with me.
Crackheads as a black male. What's wrong with you, dog?
Nothing's wrong with me. I call people crackheads all the time.
Do you realize that crackhead is the name to derogatory our black people for?
I don't know why. No.
I gotta pause it there. Yello, because I'm here, Canada, it's totally different. Is that derogatory calling someone a crackhead towards black people?
The idea that this nigga is failing to express is the difference between crack and cocaine. The racist implications between crack and cocaine. For a long time, around the sentencings of crack and cocaine, you get way more time with crack than you do cocaine per gram, right? That was for a long time. Why is that the case?
Man's coke.
Because more black people did crack, more
rich people do powder, coke. Black poor people do.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like really what? It's fucking 20 minutes in the water with some baking soda. Come on, bro. What are we talking about?
To me, anybody could be a crackhead. You're smoking crack, you got crackhead tendencies, you're a crackhead.
Yeah.
It don't matter what color you is.
Yeah, it's not exclusively one color. One race.
Right. And that's
they might want to try and single that out though.
Hold on.
Because the history about it and the way how it's treated and what neighborhoods are police and all of these things, all of that shit. And then you get into the TV stuff, right? And then you get into movies and shit like what the Ryan dude was crying about. Oh, there's not enough moral white. Well, guess what? Every fucking movie I saw growing up, guess what color the crackheads were?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about, really?
Yeah.
So so there is a stigma to it. The problem is, though, and where this motherfucker fucked up, is that, like, apparently, I don't know if this is true. I don't know this Rippa nigga. I don't know him from Adam. You feel what I'm saying? But, like, apparently he, growing up as old as he is, refers to anybody who he disagrees with or anybody that he thinks is dumb or anything or using their brain right. He apparently refers to them as crackheads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, whatever. But I imagine that Jody is hypersensitive to it because a lot of people refer to his channel as Jody Crack Corner or whatever, that, like, some kind of, some bullshit like that. You feel what I'm saying? So he's used to dealing with it in that sense. But there are a lot of circumstances where if motherfuckers is referring to somebody as crackhead or a group of people as crackheads, I do see, and I've seen it personally, there is a tendency for that to be used with black people, addressing black people more than anybody else. That's a thing.
I hear you.
That is a thing.
So I shouldn't be calling Nerdman a crackhead anymore?
You say whatever the fuck you want.
That's what I'm saying, though.
If you got crackhead tendencies, I'm calling you a crackhead. Like I said, it don't matter what color you are.
But that's what I'm saying. So when I'm joking with Nerdman or whatever, and I'm saying, "Hey, Nerdman, you're a crackhead," am I like being racist or derogatory towards him?
No, because somebody call me a crackhead, I'm not gonna instantly get pissed off if you call me that N-word and you don't look the right color. You call me that,
that's a preference thing, though. Like, to answer the question, no, it's not something that is it's not traditionally racist in the same way as, like, colored, nigga.
To me, it's not as inflammatory as those words. It's
criminal,
not an inflammatory word.
Like, it's not
maybe disrespectful, but not necessarily inflammatory.
But it does have those racist tendencies. It does have a history of being exclusive for that kind of racial discrimination. It does have that aspect to it.
Got you. What's up, LB? All right, you're muted if you're still there. Can't hear you.
So would it be safe to say on Yello is to aim more towards the black female more so than the black male?
That's that's another part of it too. But then you get in the hierarchy of, like, you know what I'm saying, like, who, you get into the hierarchy of who's at the bottom of the pyramid of, like, privilege and shit like that.
Right. And that's black female.
You feel what I'm saying? White man, white woman, black man, black woman. Of course, she always gonna get it worse. Always, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Good evening, gentlemen.
But yeah, that is also a thing.
What up, LB?
Definitely.
What's up, man?
Chilling. Said you had some thoughts on the matter. Go ahead. You have the floor. I will be right back.
Honestly, like, I find this highly disappointing. With Jody, Young Rippa, Amazing Lucas, like, I mean, I just don't like seeing brothers on this platform or any platform beefing and doing the name calling, insulting each other to entertain their crowd, which is mostly people that think these certain ways about black people. Part of me is like, man, I wish I could just reach out to them and talk to them about it. But, like, at the end of the day, this isn't my business. Like, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But it's just so disappointing to me. I don't like to see this type of stuff on YouTube or anywhere, honestly.
I
Facts.
agree with that
And then you have a whole bunch of people who are, like, applauding it because they don't like Jody. Or then you have on the other side, I mean, I didn't see none of the other side, but then you might have on the other side a whole bunch of people who are trying their hardest to, like, applaud it because they don't like Rippa. You feel what I'm saying? So now it's not even people who necessarily fuck with you or agree with the shit that you're saying. Neither one of these motherfuckers said anything really good in this motherfucker. Like, neither one of these motherfuckers said anything essentially useful or beneficial to anybody, even themselves.
It's
kind of productive. So, like,
I feel like everything's just two-sided related. Maybe if you throw a third person in here, it will fucking add to the mix because everything is pick a side. Pick a side. My side's right. Your side's right.
I think people get community and family in this platform confused because family, you have to deal with, in some aspects, you have to deal with your family. In some aspects, you have to deal with your friends. But in this YouTube, you got the powerful thing is, if I don't like Yello, guess what? I can unsub Yello. I ain't got to click on Yello. I ain't got nothing. But they act like they tied at the hip or tethered at the hip that just because Nzo say he don't like me, I got to go back at Nzo.
I see it differently. I see it differently on Danny. I see it like, Yello's smart. Yellow, I look at, he seems to get response in the fucking comments and shit, I'm gonna fucking jump on that train. I'm gonna try and get him to notice me and let me start something with him, and maybe him and I could create the fire. That's how I see it. People just jumping on that train. They got no skills, they got no talent. You know how it is, Nzo? I see it like this. Some guys went in the hood, started a business, grew it, this and that, and then you have those guys who say, yo, look at this guy, I want it. Let me jump on it. Let me tax him. And that's what I see YouTube. People taxing other people's talent. You see a guy's getting some love and whatnot. He says one wrong phrase. You want to make a career off it.
Yeah. And you know that, let's say if you go after a bigger channel, there's a good chance that you may get either the people that hate him, but you may also get some of the people that like him too, because they're gonna follow you to see what you say about that person again. You know what I mean?
Because this shit would never pop up on my YouTube. I would never see these guys if you never showed me.
I guess if I could sit at home all day and they had nothing else to do and solely depend on this to make a living, that might be a horse of a different color. But shit, I got 2 jobs. I can't worry about this shit.
I hear you, Daddy.
It's
hard just making it every Wednesday, yo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, bro, like this topic, like there's been a lot of debate. Like Rippa and Amazing Lucas talked about it, whatever. Like this whole subject could have been a real good discussion with a bunch of different type of black YouTubers, right? And discuss this. But they're not doing that. They're insulting each other, calling each other fat, this and that. It's like, what? This is being very counterproductive.
They're taking it personal, LB. When you start trying to insult, it's personal.
Nigga say, you fat motherfucker. He said, but I get more bitches.
He said it with like fucking, he said that with passion, yo.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing, right? About it. Like you have 2 channels, black channels, later XXX. You have 2 black channels who are pretty big channels, and instead of coming together, right, they argue and are fighting each other. Like, why?
Well, one channel was significantly bigger than the other one.
Yeah,
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? This whole thing only benefits Jody.
I agree.
Who's bigger,
Well,
Rippa or Jody?
Rippa's bigger.
You say that, right? It's true, but then I don't think it does, because Rippa's audience is basically the people that think black people are this and that and that. And Jody's audience is, would you say it's a different audience?
I would say it's a different audience.
Really, probably, yeah. Because like the little bit that I've seen from this Rippa dude, he's exactly the type of motherfuckers I can't fuck with. But then again, the same thing is true about Jody for different reasons, I guess.
Right.
I think based on what I'm seeing, I could be totally wrong. I think Jody is more the urban younger crowd.
Right.
Rippa maybe a little bit older and maybe a mix with
a little bit of young, little bit of old.
I'm talking about race wise. I think his race,
absolutely.
Rippa's crowd is essentially right wingers.
Right.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I say this is counterproductive, like, because this could have been like a real discussion, whether they agree or disagree on what the bruh was saying in his review, but it didn't turn into that.
Is it just me, or are they playing into the myth of the angry black man that society thinks that we are?
Yeah.
Let me get up by tearing you down.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
I don't know. You think so? They're playing into it.
You know what,
like,
Yello? For me,
or does it just?
I say it all the time.
Someone,
if black people would unite, if is such a big word, because for me growing up, all I ever seen is black people questioning why other black people have what they don't have. Man, the fucking guy earned it, man. Go earn it yourself. You know, why do you want to always question instead of just doing it? We could work for a cause instead of working against each other. That's all I'm saying. Why look for flaws in each other when we could look for the fucking benefits in each other, man?
Yeah, and you know what? The piggyback off that, Roberto, I don't know if you're watching Bel Air, but
I was watching a bit of it.
Me and Nzo talk about that. Now, Will Friend come there, see Will is in a better environment, better condition, get a chance to really go somewhere in life, and he mad, and he's come out to say it. You just gonna leave my broke ass in Philadelphia, and you gonna come out here and do? Okay, if you boys, you truly boys, then you should be happy for your boy. Yeah, you're gonna be sad because he's leaving, But if you really care or give a damn about that individual, I wouldn't be mad if Nzo hit the lottery or whatever and do something and whatever. I mean, I'd be happy for him. But that right there shows, in some aspects, I'm not going to say all. I don't want to generalize all black people, but that's how a lot of black people are.
It's a stigma.
See, that's the thing, though. It's not a black thing. It's just immature.
It is.
Everybody who doesn't have the same access, because the fact, just to take the Bel Air example, right? The fact that Will has a fucking uncle that got bread out there is pure luck. That shit is pure happenstance, right? Will didn't do nothing to be able to make that happen. You feel what I'm saying? So when motherfuckers say shit like just get out there and work, just do it, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and shit, it's like, fam, that nigga's uncle is rich before he was born. That shit ain't got nothing to do. So he has an opportunity there that he's taking advantage of. That's what's up. His man
that was a bad example.
He was abandoned. His man's is hurt.
You're
He's
right,
abandoned. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and he's out here and he's obviously immature. These high school kids. They just finally learning that the world is not fair. You know what I mean? In a real sense, right? Hopefully, you wait till high school to figure that out.
In that example, you're absolutely correct. But there have been some mature people act the same damn way.
False. What? How? That is a aspect of immaturity. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Let me change that. There have been older people that should have a level of maturity.
I mean, we know both of these motherfuckers here arguing at each other like this is grown. So we know that years don't mean shit. Time,
I mean, look at the video title. Look at the video title.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And that's after. You know what I mean? He changed it. It was called something else before, and then after.
Who's the egg-shaped man, Jody?
Yeah.
Take a guess. Wild guess.
I don't know. He's so far out, you know?
Right. I feel you.
Poe said, y'all have to remember you have people not of our culture making decisions when they make movies, right? How do you expect them to portray the culture correctly? Who you think owns the companies?
Yeah.
He's right, you
WB. Yeah.
Which is why this
only one movie has good Jamaicans in it.
Right. Right. What were you saying, Yello?
Bro? Cool Runnings.
Oh, no.
Wasn't that one? Nice try, though. Nice try, Yello.
When I found out, like maybe it was probably about 10, 15 years ago, I found out that Cool Runnings wasn't like a real true story, bro. I was so heartbroken, dog. I promise you, I was heartbroken, bro. I was so proud of those folk, bro. And I found the story wasn't 100% true.
It wasn't. There wasn't. They were the first Jamaican bobsledding team, but they didn't win or anything like that. You didn't get that. You know
Where did they practice at? Where did they train?
Bro, man,
for real. You know what I mean? But yeah, so let's continue and see what he has to say. And like I said, we won't watch the whole thing. We'll watch a few of it because it does get out of hand and it does become unproductive at one point. You know what I mean?
In all honesty, I could see it before I even get to it.
Right.
Has just started like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you do. I don't know why all of a sudden why the term crackhead all of a sudden becomes race associated with you, but that's your business. I don't associate black people with crack.
Always.
What's that?
Crack has always been race related. That's just it always has been.
Right. I mean, where was the crack? In the hood, because it was cheap.
Right. Nerdman,
it was put there. Let's talk about how you feel. So it's like that's the issue that I have with like motherfuckers. They have all this ability to be nuanced and all that shit when they defending their racist boy, but then when it comes time to, you know what I'm saying, have to have a little bit of nuance concerning something that they disagree with or doesn't benefit their argument, all of a sudden all that nuance goes away. All of a sudden their ability to see between the lines goes all the way out the window and shit when they out here talking bullshit. That's another reason why I hate motherfuckers like this. I just hate it.
Gotcha.
There's no
we call them crackheads.
You don't associate it, but you don't know America does. You don't know white people call black people crackheads.
I don't adjust based upon white people do because I'm not obsessed with white people. Seems like you are.
You're telling me that you're ignorant to the fact.
No, it's not about ignorance. It's that you make an adjustment. You're talking about how you make an adjustment based upon the viewership of white people. I don't care about that because I don't beg for their acceptance.
Yeah, that's talking about a general.
I am talking.
Yeah.
He's talking about something that is true, and he's choosing not to ignore. This is the shit I'm talking. Jody's wrong, right? He's not. You call me a crackhead, you're racist. No, but he is talking about something that is true.
Right.
It's a thing.
Right.
But just because has been a thing.
But just because I call the crackhead that just came on the show a crackhead doesn't necessarily mean I'm being racist to Nerdman.
Right. No,
You
it's
know what I
not.
mean?
It's not.
Yeah,
But to
right.
ignore
You
the
are a
to
known
ignore the
racist, bro.
ignore
So
the tradition of it, to ignore the history of it, to ignore the facts of it, just because it doesn't serve your argument, it's just as disingenuous as whatever the fuck. I got look at how much bigger my studio is than yours. You know, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I can.
It sounds smarter. It certainly sounds smarter, but it's just as meaningless.
What's up, Nerdman? How you doing, man?
What's
yeah,
up,
I'm
homie?
good, man. I'm
What's up,
good.
Nerdman?
Hate these niggas, man.
You had a little something to say on it, or what? Go ahead.
Oh, on this?
Before I continue,
Yeah, no, I did. I co-sign a lot of what Yellow's saying, but I just think it's so irrelevant. Like, and you're
Facts.
right. Like, there's this thing where it's like there's actually a genuine ideological difference, and I've watched young Ripper and his controversial views on race, if you want to put it that way. And I think maybe they'd be better served maybe discussing those kind of differences in a kind of more polite way with each other.
With a moderator.
Yeah, with a moderator would be a much more interesting thing.
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you straight.
But the thing is, like, you listen to both of them, and I've seen them on like different streams, right? Rippa on another stream, Jody on other streams. Do you really think you could get these two together to have a civil conversation?
I think if there's
Suppose
a
not, and
moderator,
it probably wouldn't get as many views.
Yeah, that too.
To be fair to them.
I heard this shit was orchestrated by a whole nother white man. So I don't, I heard this shit was instigated and orchestrated by a whole nother white man. I don't know the verity of that. I don't follow these niggas, but that's what I heard. You feel what I'm saying? So
Hey,
like,
was it Ben Shapiro?
Oh, that that's what I wanted to say before we got into this. I completely forgot because the video we shot, his name's Ryan Kennel, Roberto. I don't want to keep saying the white guy, you know what I mean? But the first video
I was gonna say the white guy.
Yeah, okay. So the white guy,
I can't remember his name.
He posted a video with Ben Shapiro kind of saying the same thing and tried to use that as validation. And I'm
That's
like,
proof.
you are using fucking Ben Shapiro as validation?
right,
Really?
That's the thing. All these motherfuckers agree with each other. They all agree. They're all of the same mind. They got the extremely high tolerance for racism, and that shit is not okay, bro. It's not cool. It's not cool. Motherfuckers like that allow and benefit from the fact that racism is.
But to be honest, like in a system like this, these people like young Ripper, people like him and their attitudes, they're necessary consequences of this kind of how embedded our ideology is in this system. They're just reflections. They're just reflections of what they see in the media. They go on like they're educated about something. And really, you can tell they haven't really read or researched anything in any.
They got buzzwords. They got keywords.
They haven't talked about how crack cocaine actually even got in the country, how it was developed, the connections like between heroin and crack cocaine and the CIA, and like what there's no research, nothing's been done to say, it's just like it's all just impulsive, emotional opinions. Nothing objective, nothing research.
It's zingers. They're just trying to get the most, like they're just trying to win.
Right, exactly. And even when
with discourse.
Even when we started, like these guys broke down how crack, how it could be associated with black people. Yello said it, you know what I mean? Where it started, it was the cheaper drug. That's what they were doing in the hood, right? They couldn't get cocaine, so they had to do other things, methods. And that's exactly what it is, right? So at least you're getting a little bit of information over on this side to where it's like that. But these guys are just, it's just, this is that is that, blah, 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 blah. And it ends up just being a bunch of noise, man. You know what I mean? So let's continue because there's not much time left. But let's
black people crackheads, that's not racist.
No, I wouldn't say no. Calling someone a crackhead, black, white, or whatever, I wouldn't call that racist.
So when a white person calls a bunch of black people crackheads, it's not racist.
No, if he's meaning literal that they are crackheads, then no, I wouldn't consider that racist.
See, that's the bullshit.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean by you people, and calling me ignorant isn't an argument. What specifically, in terms of an issue, do you have with what it was that I said? Go ahead.
I've had a whole bunch of issues with Snyder Cult people who've been wanting to restore the Snyder
That ain't got
Cult.
nothing to do with me.
I've gotten a whole bunch of, I understand. I got a lot of hate. And the number one film god piece of shit who was trolling and sucking my cock for years, wanting my attention, was using the term for me and my brothers coming up in LA from the ghetto and making it on our own, crackheads. The crack corner. Jody's crack corner and a bunch of crackheads, bro. Because that's exactly the type of terminology that white people use.
To be fair, I don't think
people who are racist towards
can
black
I pause
people.
here?
To make.
To be fair, I don't really care, dude. But like the guy who said that to him was a Scottish guy, and I'm pretty sure like the way we use that crackhead in the UK is not like a racist terminology. It's just like how you said it when you call me crackhead, even though we smoke crack together, Nzo.
Every day all day, bro.
We use it as a very playful kind of like, oh, you're a fucking crackhead, blah blah blah.
Oh, so
you know,
let me add on to that, because like something similar happened with a situation. A girl I know, she was from the UK, and she said something, and people were calling her racist, and like I was defending her, and I had to like I told her privately like, why would people think that is racist? But then people come at me like, why are you defending her? But then you call someone else racist for something. Like, well, she's from a whole different country and she didn't know. So you got to explain these type of things to people that don't know.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Because, like I said, even here, like, you know what I mean? We know the history, but I remember growing up. Yeah, you crackhead. What's up, crackhead? Yeah, crackhead. This, you know what I mean? We did it all in fun.
It's the context.
Right? Yes,
it's the context. Because if I said Nzo, you remember him, crackhead. He knows I'm talking that guy used to smoke crack back in the day.
Right.
But if I go, look at that fucking crackhead, he knows the guy did something stupid. It's not he's literally a crackhead. It's the context. But I can understand how the reference does pertain to black people.
Absolutely.
Because it was put in the ghettos. It was there to fuck us up. Because obviously we couldn't afford the powder at the rate it was, so they gave it to us at a cheaper, more addictive form to try and ruin us. And someone made a comment way back in the comments about if black people could ever really unite. And I'd like to say no. I'd like to say no. You know why? Because anytime I seen anyone remotely close to having some kind of majority of a following towards an ideology, they fucking discredit it or kill it. So I think they don't want us to unite, and that's my
absolutely they don't.
That's my going out speech.
Because to be honest with you, like the drama.
What do you think, Yello? You're quiet, yo. I had to ask you.
I'm trying to let niggas talk, man. You know me, so I'm always talk too much.
But yeah, go ahead,
you're absolutely right, man. That's a fact. We over and over again through history, we see concerted efforts to take out any kind of leadership that has ever existed in the black community. There's a whole FBI fucking protocol. What was that shit called? Program or whatever. It was dedicated to killing what they called the Black Messiah.
The Black Messiah, yeah.
That's a real thing that really happened. You feel what I'm saying? Talking about that was in the 60s. That was so long ago. It was 60 years ago, bitch.
You know what's crazy?
Bro.
You know what's crazy though? Life, yo. I honestly think, like, based off me seeing Jody's content and Rippa's content, I believe they would have more in common than they really think. You know?
Yeah. When you
I wonder, LB, because the way I'm feeling Rippa is he's kind of like mulish. He doesn't see the full perspective. He sees his own perspective, and I see anger in Jody.
I think that there's two sides of the same coin.
Do you see the portrait in the background of Rippa? Yeah, the one in the middle.
Yeah.
The afro? No.
That says it all there. I mean, I ain't gonna go on a deep discussion about that. But
that's Soul.
Who is what is that? I don't know what
Soul.
Yeah. He's essentially right. What the right wingers look as. He's like the number one black guy that they like to reference because he's essentially
what's his name?
How do you say his name? Soul or Soul? How do you say his name?
Soul.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's
I've heard him
essentially-
speak.
He's essentially the right wingers they look at, because he basically is on some black people. He tells them what they want to hear about black people. That's all. Basically,
so he's like the Bible.
It's basically black people have
The so-called
got into
Bible.
this situation of their own kind of doing that.
That's Thomas
it's
Sowell.
Thomas Sowell. There we go. Thanks. Sorry, I forgot his first name. But yeah, like
It looks like he's an economist.
He's an economist, and it's our
You want to know
responsibility.
about the black man? I'll tell you.
Yeah,
it's black people's fault that they've been victims of racism.
Right.
If you look at other communities, Asian communities, other communities, no nuance, of course, how they've been able to rise up despite like the racial prejudices or whatever.
Black rednecks.
Yeah, they love they love mentioning him. They love to mention him. They can't mention no one else. They can't mention no other author or nothing, but they can mention him.
I'm looking at his books. It's called Black Rednecks and White Liberals.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, man. Look. This is the shit. Like personal accountability. But I can't say it. Personal accountability is the one thing that you as an individual can control. That's the one thing that you got. Right? And then there's all kinds of shit that hampers or restricts that, right? But it's the one thing that you got. So yes, it's very important to always have conversations about you being personally accountable as much as you can about the shit that's going on in your life. Absolutely. To only put that up on a pedestal, to prop that up and pretend that there aren't a billion other factors every day on a daily basis that contribute to someone's life and their trajectory and all kinds of like whatever opportunities are available to them, what resources they have access to, all of that shit is bullshit. It is pure bullshit. And the numbers, they show that. It's just look at it. They show it.
And perfect example is you have schools where there's classes of 30 people, but only 15 books.
Fam.
You know what I mean? Right then and
because
there,
the school
that is holding you
because
back.
public schools are funded based on property taxes. How does that make sense? Anywhere.
Exactly.
It's inherent. It's part of the. It's not a fucking bug in the system. It's the feature. They designed it that way. All right.
No, of course.
Man,
And I think the thing is,
books names, man. He got a book called Civil Rights: Rhetoric or Reality.
Right.
Wow.
Right. That's what I'm talking about, bro. And they love to mention him. He's like that.
bullshit.
Hey, if
He's
to
music
them,
to their ears, man.
he's their black Jesus.
Civil rights works when you're talking about every other group except when you're talking about black folks.
Yeah.
They ain't got no problems with women voting. They ain't got no problems with the Irish immigrants that came through, right? Talk about all of the northern, what the fuck were they called, bro? The goddamn it, North Europeans, man. What are they called? Bro? The Northern Europeans, man. The Dutch and Norwegians and all of them, like all of those motherfuckers were given farmland in the Midwest. They were given farmland to come over, immigrant, and here's a whole bunch of shit that you can have. Right. And like, it's like the 1800s. I can't remember when it was, man. Whenever the fuck they created places like fucking Minnesota and Wisconsin and Montana and all that shit. It was given farmland, given all kinds of shit, grants to come over and till and grow the agriculture. You had a whole bunch of niggas who have been doing agriculture for free for years already, know how to do it, good at it. You know how we know it was good at it? The whole fucking American economy was built on it. You know why America was so primed to take advantage of the Industrial Revolution?
Slavery,
fucking slave labor, bitch. All these motherfuckers have bread, and you pretend the North put a whole lot of money together too, and they wasn't using slaves. First of all, yes, they was using slaves, but then they took those slaves and put them in the factories any goddamn way. Yeah, they paid them a little bit more. That's what's up. That shit ain't look like no kind of equality. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing, bro.
Slavery created more millionaires. Right.
Talk about it.
I think it's even more millionaires in the South than any time in American history. Right. So like there's more millionaires that came out of slavery, more people who went from like middle class to lower class to actually being multi millionaires, the richest people on earth, essentially, in that time. It was the biggest boom for the Southern economy in American history. So you can't it's weird to me. And also what you're talking about, like the different advantages that were economically structured within the system. look at the New Deal. The New Deal was almost exclusively like targeted towards whites. Blacks were excluded through certain kind of elements of the New Deal,
unions and
so
shit like
that so that it wouldn't get, so that blacks just basically couldn't do it without saying the word like, hey, we're not going to put, we're not going to give like these kind of advantages to blacks. They excluded them by saying like certain types of labor weren't included in that. Usually labor that was occupied by black people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing. Hold on, let me repost that real quick, Danny, before you go. It's amazing how the government has separated humans here in America. Not black or white, but middle class and lower are suffering the most. Control yourself, but they control us. Wake up, gas prices. Go ahead, Danny. What are you gonna say?
I'm trying to see what the hell Jack problem.
Danny and Roberto, hi, by the way, guys, man.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
You say I don't mean to pick on you, Danny, but you fall into the class system and it jams you up, and you don't see it. What the fuck are you talking about?
They said, or you do, and it's de-escalating you, so stop running program.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. He must be on some oil tonight.
What did he just say?
I have no idea, but whatever you think of Danny, you are absolutely wrong. I will tell you that, Jack Ross.
All right, okay, all right.
Yeah.
First, you got to know what he's saying, though. Like, you clearly have no idea what he's saying because I've been reading for a while and I can't figure it out. So first, give him a chance to get his words together so you can actually know what he's saying. Like, come on.
Sure,
I just got done saying about the
and it's de-escalation. You can't stop.
I don't like the energy.
Program.
I don't like the energy behind it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. What is he saying?
Energy is he about to see Negro Man and he don't want to see that. That's the energy that he's about to promote with. I don't know what the fuck you singling me out.
Yeah, Poe, we know you're here. Poe said, immigration over my chainsaw Indians, Yellow does
Chickasaw.
Oh, Chickasaw, my bad. At Yellow does it, the last native to fight the white man off. Do your research.
Guess what? He lost.
What? What did he just say?
Nothing.
Okay.
To me, it looked like he distinguishing himself from black people right now. That's what it looked like to me. But I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Who, Poe? No, Poe would never do that. Poe would never.
I mean, yeah, but that's my Chickasaw Indians and shit. You know?
Well, yeah, he's.
Oh, they just wiped them out. That was their deal.
Fucking smallpox was over. Here, take these blankets.
In a negative light, and the fact that you sit up here
That's a
acting
fact.
like you know what you're talking about with your premature beard, saying that it's not racist.
What does define what the term ignorant means?
A premature beard?
Yeah.
Ignorance is
What
not
is that?
having the knowledge of something. It's plain and simple.
Okay, so you're saying what is it specifically that you say that I lack the knowledge on?
You don't have the knowledge to know that the term crackhead is derogatory to black people in poverty.
All right. First of all, I grew up in poverty. Number one. Number two, the term crackhead.
Individualization. You see what I'm
I'm
saying?
from South Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff, born and raised.
All right, Texas.
Yes. And with that being said, I don't, and I've never have, to be fair, associated the term crackhead with race. Now, again, that sounds like an individual personal problem, and you gave me that rundown and that soap opera story of someone that maybe called you a crackhead. And I don't know if you're saying that the guy called you a crackhead because of you guys' race or that he just used the term. That's y'all's business. But as I mentioned before, that ain't got a goddamn thing to do with me. And I have never once used the term because clearly people that watch my videos and people that watch all of my segments and every bit of my streams, I've used the term crackhead, probably most associating with white folk, to be completely honest, because generally a lot of my content is making fun of goofy white leftists, calling them crackheads and all sorts of things. So you're calling me ignorant based upon your own individual experience that has not a goddamn thing to do with me. You see where it is that I'm coming from? So if I wanted to say some like again, and me of all people being a black person, like for me to just be slinging a fucking term out there that I would think generally be associated with some black person is first of all, I think that's nonsense. But on a serious note, I don't adjust my terminology. I don't adjust what the fuck it is that I say based upon anybody. And it sounds like that's what it is that you do, specifically as it pertains to white people. I don't allow white people in my mental space like that for them to control what the fuck it is that I want to talk about. That's not how I operate.
But you put yourself in the line
That's
to
fine,
defend
but
them.
be aware of it though.
Defend who?
You're denying that it exists. You're
White people
denying
who
that
say-
it's real.
All right. At what point did I defend specifically white people? Did I defend someone that was white, or did I defend someone's whiteness?
That your boy said about black.
What did I say? How did I defend it? How did I defend it? How did I defend it? And no, but
kids trying to slay a dragon at every corner. They don't know what they're talking.
all right. So again, how would you consider that a defense? Like again, like what does that term mean?
What started all this, by the way? What started all this? A tweet? Is this
Ryan Cano's tweet?
Is this another Twitter like fucking thing? Like
yeah,
everyone's getting pissed off about something someone says on fucking
the Ryan Cano
From
thing.
From what I was able to put together, you feel what I'm saying? Some Ryan dude, I don't know who he is, don't watch his stuff, don't know nothing about Geeks and Gamers, don't give a fuck.
Right.
He said some racist shit about the Batman, talking about how about Hollywood, talking about how all of the white people, there's less moral white people than moral black people in this movie, and you can see how that is Hollywood's agenda or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? And that's like, okay, so it's extremely racist.
That's what I felt when I
better the
watched
old
the
way.
Batman.
That's fine. And then this dude, Rippa, put up a tweet or whatever that was defending that guy. You feel what I'm saying? From the people who were attacking him and shit like that. Like,
right.
And some people were like, oh, there was, you know how people are. You get a mob together, you feel what I'm saying? Some of those motherfuckers are gonna be nuts. They're gonna jump all the way out the window and say the worst thing possible. I think there were death threats involved and all kinds of shit like that. It's like, no. What are we doing here? You niggas is trash. Shut up. Stop that. Right. However, the shit he said was racist. And then Rippa gets out here.
Oh,
and
you
he got
mean
to
on that
right
video,
now.
like where he
Exactly.
was saying all the black people were like good.
He said there was only 3 good white people in the movie, you know.
And here go K-Dot. Rippa, number 1 fan right here. Rippa won the conversation. Jody wasn't even debating the points properly. Neither one of these niggas was debating anything. They was just saying shit. It was all reactionary bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's continue with the rest of this. We can get into it.
It's like I'm talking to a wall. You don't see it as a defense?
No. It's not that I don't see it as a defense. I'm asking you specifically what I defended because you just made Jody a positive, and that is your name, right? That's not the name of the whole. All right. So you just made a positive claim about me. Right. Oh, but you will defend white people.
Talking about positive claims.
I need you to show the receipts, not me defending someone statement that is white. I specifically defend man's whiteness because that's what you would have to do.
This is funny. Your brain is twisted with politics, bro. You ain't even.
What the fuck is that? Can you answer the question? You made a positive claim. I'm just asking you to prove it, bro. That's it.
Defended your white friend who said racist shit.
How? What did I specifically defend and how?
All right, for sure. Are you telling me that you didn't defend him?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm asking you to what specifically are you referencing? Because what I want to do, and
I'm not playing these games. Are you saying that you did not defend him?
I am saying that I defended. Yes, I defended, like in a sense that what I made, the claim.
I didn't even say anything.
All right, let me make the claim that I made in the video. Did you even watch the video in terms of what that tweet was embodying? Did you watch that video?
I watched the clip of him saying.
All right, nah, I ain't talking about his clip. We're talking about my statements, which is what are we talking about?
He's got a point.
All right, so you didn't see that, so you don't even understand the fucking context of what was being talked about at all. So you want to talk about speaking out of ignorance? That's literally what you just did. You literally just spoke out of ignorance because you haven't even seen the video.
I'm speaking out of what you said.
No, you spoke out of ignorance. I just asked you, homie. I just asked you if you watched the video that the tweet is specifically referencing. You didn't.
I'm not coming at you for the video.
No, but you're coming at me. You're coming at me with a tweet. You're saying that I'm defending. I will say this. There is no way in the tweet that you reference. If we're talking about the tweet alone, I didn't defend shit in that tweet.
Right.
Yeah, you can hear Jody's.
No, go ahead. Read it all the way through. In order for you to have to make a claim that I defended him, you would have to reference the video. I didn't defend a goddamn person in that video in that tweet right there. I didn't defend anybody.
Yeah, you did. You defended your man.
The tweet was for me and the video. That was what I was talking about. That's who the tweet was for.
Did he agree with him?
Ain't no full of shit, nigga. Go look it up. Pull it up. Hey, you got that big screen right there in the studio that you bought.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did he agree with him on this critique of the Batman?
What do you mean?
Again, like it's so funny we're talking about the Batman. Did he agree with him? Like, there was all these white people who.
Do I agree with him?
No. Did he agree with him?
Oh, ooh. I don't know if he, because I didn't watch the video either, so I don't know if he agreed with what he said in the video, but it seemed like the tweet was defending what he said. So there must be some sort of agreement.
I saw
Go
when
ahead,
he was talking to Lucas, if I can remember, he said he didn't think it was racist, but he could see how people can see it as racist.
Okay. Because he does end up saying, right, that he's seen or heard the Ryan Kennel say stuff worse than that. So now you have black men on here. We all think
No,
that
but he
was,
didn't. Hold on. He did say that, but he then immediately said, but it wasn't about race or whatever bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always the dance around, and that's what I'm talking about. And that's why when motherfuckers praising him, who the fuck said it? He articulated his points better, whatever. Somebody said that shit just a minute ago. Like it's like, yeah, fine. If you're able to formulate a sentence that sounds good, you automatically win. And that's like, nah, that's bullshit, bro. What are you actually saying? What are you saying?
Right.
What is the substance?
I agree.
Right?
I agree. Too many people, especially on YouTube, they think just because a person says big words or talks very articulate that they're actually saying something. Right, that too.
It's about talking extremely fast and just putting point after point after point without being able to.
The Gish Gallop is trash.
Yeah, without being able to give the person an opportunity to respond. It's
and like
cheap
Yello
tactic.
said, right? And like Yello said, a lot of people now are taking sides, saying this side the one, that side one, which Roberto
because not only because they don't like him. Whoever they don't like, they like, nah, he's trash. Blah blah blah. Look, he got him. He won and all this. It's like, yeah,
but really, they didn't even get to the heart of the issue. They're kind of getting to the heart of the issue here, where it's actually possibly got some content to it, where it could be kind of interesting, but they're not even really talking about it. They're still dancing around it. But I just want to know, like, is this so? This all stems from this idiot's critique of the Batman, that Zoe Kravitz, a character, saying something in a movie, so they assume that the movie maker agrees specifically
but it wasn't
with what that character is saying.
No.
That's not how movies work.
You're making it too specific. No, I mean, it wasn't that. It was that there were too many moral black people. There were more moral black people than moral white people, and that's bad. Even though there's a whole gang of white cops at the end who was standing behind Gordon, you feel what I'm saying, ready to ride because they were still good cops. But no, it's not important. Nuance doesn't matter. You feel what I'm saying? What I got to do is I have to say the thing that's kind of racist so that motherfuckers talk about it.
And they have to, of course, discount like Batman being a good person.
No, Batman was included. It was like Batman and Alfred, and I think that's it. Meanwhile, you got these three black people.
Oh, that's it.
Great.
Yes,
that's it. And there's only two black people in the movie, so that kind of cancel each other out.
My issue with those folk, man. I mean, we talked about this before. I think we talked about it on K-Dot stream a few weeks ago when we was like, they say these coded words and whatever, and it's like whenever they say these stupid racist comments, they always have a few black folk on their streams where they're trying to backtrack on what they say to say, hey, look, we're not racist. We got this black person, that black person on the panel. And like the black folk on their panel, like they don't realize they're being used.
Right, exactly. And that's go ahead, Danny.
After listening to the whole tweet or video that Ryan made, could it be misconstrued as being taken out of context, or is it what we think it is?
You see, that's the question. I didn't see the whole video, but I know a few people that did, and they were like, it's still not really taken out of context. He said what he said.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but I know how Ryan Kennel talks. So I don't need to understand.
See the whole clip to understand. That's what I was saying earlier, because we know his history. You know what I mean? Yeah, go ahead, Yello.
The only context I could think they could add really is just say, look, I don't think all black people are evil and they shouldn't be portrayed as that. But Hollywood clearly has an agenda that they're trying to, and it's like all you're doing is trying to shift the focus. Nigga, you said some shit that's racist. Whether you're racist, whether you have black friends, whether you like black women, is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with this shit that you're doing right now. You feel what I'm saying?
Well, I think
those two things next to each other and pretend that one cancels out the other is the part of the problem.
Absolutely. I don't know that what he said was racist, but I get the distinct impression. I get the distinct impression that the impulse behind it is racist. It's stupid. and it's
doesn't like
sensitive.
he had a problem with the movie because there were more moral black people than white people in it. That's what he said.
No, but I
racist.
think
no matter who is the one being racist, that is racist.
I thought he
Like,
was
who
critiquing.
notices that, bro? Like, seriously.
I thought he was critiquing the performance.
No.
He was talking about the morality of the character.
And the film. That's what he was saying. It's the morality of the film that the film is trying to push forward an agenda that all white people are somehow
bad and evil,
privileged.
And shit like that.
No, they're privileged
and evil too, because he said something about
morally questionable, I would say. But yeah, like
seriously, think about this though, bruh. Oh, I'm sorry, bruh. Go ahead, bruh.
But is it? Look,
Did they say that shit about the Joker? They say the shit about the Joker. If you look at the Joker movie, all throughout the Joker movie, the only people who represented the system over and over again, who represented the system that was holding Arthur Fleck back, were black women every single time. Did anybody have anything? Did anybody say anything about that? I bet you there's not one single instance of those motherfuckers bringing that shit up.
No.
Come on,
right.
man.
No. I agree with you. I agree with you, Yello. But like, I'm just saying. So a critique, right, could be wrong, but it doesn't necessarily, and it could have kind of racist implications. But the person forwarding that critique might not necessarily
intention matters. You're saying intention matters.
I think intention matters, and I
does
think they can see. It is plausible. It is possible even that. Even though I think it's complete nonsense, but it is possible that Hollywood is trying to brainwash people to think that white people are privileged and fucking morally bankrupt or something like that. That's possible. And you can only assess that through kind of an empirical, research on like Hollywood films. Are they actually doing that? Then you can show, no, they're not. And you're full of shit and you're stupid for thinking that. But it doesn't what I'm saying is, like, it doesn't necessarily mean like the person is racist. What it does say to me is that they're extremely sensitive, and yeah, I would suspect you probably have some racist kind of stuff in your head if you're viewing these films like that when they clearly are not doing that.
So let me add on to that.
As long as the racist stuff in his head doesn't outweigh everything else, then he's not racist.
Kind of, I suppose.
That's bullshit. The high tolerance for racism is what allows racism to persist. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't care if he personally hates black people or not. That shit is irrelevant. The shit that he's saying, right, is racist. And it's ignoring all of the history of the exact opposite thing happening. Right? Like,
yeah, because he doesn't know that
this
history,
is something new and you're complaining about it. This is a change that's happening and you're complaining about it. What was happening before?
But Yello, he doesn't know that history. He hasn't read those books. He doesn't know that history. He's just thinking about. He's just thinking about being white. He's thinking about being white, being a loser, and he's like, I'm a fucking loser. I don't have any fucking, cachet in this society. How can you say white people are fucking privileged? That's all it is. It's just an impulsive. Because I'm a beta male white guy who has nothing. I have to presume that like there's no systematic racism because otherwise I'd be I don't know, like I don't know what the calculation is in their mind, but that's the prism through which they're viewing things, and they don't have the information you have.
All right.
So I think it comes down to a lot of ignorance rather than
what I was going to say is okay. So the people that are defending what he said, right? It's like, okay, think about it through this way. How do you walk out of a movie and sit like, man, all the black people were good and all the white people were evil? Like, what?
For real.
Like, you literally had to go into that movie looking for something like
hands down.
Wait,
say, Danny? Go ahead, Danny. Say it, Danny. Say it, because you about to laugh. I know it's gonna be funny.
I'm just saying, man, Rick, some people went to Black Panther said that.
But what I mean, I just want to know what that guy thinks when he watches Training Day. You know, like, do you know what I'm saying? What does he think when he watches Training Day?
Training Day is probably his favorite movie, hands down, right? But you see, that's where it gets into, because Roberto had talking about sided world, right? So everybody's taking a side. So Roberto, you want to explain what you meant by that? Because I think it kind of applies to this.
Well, it's always based on two outcomes, right? You choose one or the other. And that's what everything comes down to. It's not about right and wrong. It's about win and lose. I want to win. I don't want to lose. And there's no morality in winning. You just do whatever you got to do to win.
Right.
And to the privilege, equality feels like a loss.
And I think it's so strange as well. Is he ignoring that all the white people in the Batman got all the best roles, by the way? Like, you know what I'm saying? Paul Dano gets to like ham it up. All of the characters that are white are actually more interesting. Well, I wouldn't say all of them, because Catwoman is a good character. Jim Gordon's a bit, he's a bit one-dimensional.
She's also a thief, and she wanted to kill people multiple
But
times in the
Nzo,
movie.
And she's fantastic, and so is the guy who plays Jim Gordon. But in the end, the white guy gets to be the star, the white guy gets to be the big villain, the white guy, So what are we talking about here? Like,
but when I watch movies, I never looked at that shit. I just took the movie for what
I
it's
only
worth.
look at it because of what he said.
When I went to see Superman, I knew he was white. I didn't say, why isn't he black?
Right.
If anything, I said, why isn't there a black superhero movie? I didn't want Superman. I didn't want Batman. I didn't want to take away from what it was. Just asking, why isn't there something else?
Or even back in the day when we went to go see a movie and there was no black people in it, we never walked out of there and said, you know what? There's no fucking black people in this movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? What the hell is this shit?
When the black person was killed in the horror movie first, we joked about it. We didn't
exactly.
Because it was so common.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think again, like, look, it comes down to this: what white people have to, not what white people have done, what white people who don't feel that they are part of this privilege that society is talking about. They don't think they partake in that kind of privilege. Have to realize is that there can be a system, an economic system that puts down poor people, and that they can be part of that scramble, and systematic racism can exist at the same time.
Yeah, that is the thing that happens a lot.
It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's not like just because there's systematic racism that every single white person has to be fucking
we've
wealthy
seen
and
poor
whatever.
white people. We've seen poor or Asian people. We've seen poor people of all walks. I can't comprehend, like, why are only black people poor? I saw white people in my neighborhood growing up. Were they rich, living amongst the poor? No.
Who said that?
Man.
No, I think he's using that as an example of their excuse for saying white privilege doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Because there's a bunch of poor people who like, I didn't get my check from the government, so there is no white privilege when that's not what it means.
I mean, I don't want to keep, stroking y'all ego, but this is why these discussions are very important, man, because, we don't have enough of us on this platform condemning behavior like what those YouTubers are doing when they sit there and say these racist comments, not racist comments. And it's a shame that, when you log on, you see so many of the black YouTubers finding a way to defend this or find a way to put each other down, man. I mean, I wish it would stop.
I didn't see that. I didn't. That's not my feed don't look like that. You know what I'm saying?
I do research now.
No, I feel what Lonely Banter is saying.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying when I open up my YouTube, it don't look like that. That's what
I'm happy for you, but like I like to investigate sometime, bro.
I ain't even gonna lie. When my YouTube opens up, it's a bunch of fucking yoga videos and shit.
Okay.
I knew it. I knew it. Anzo, I knew it. I knew that was what you were on, bro.
I don't give a fuck, man.
Enzo yoga coming soon.
You know what I'm saying?
I will say this. I appreciate that over the whole weekend, you feel what I'm saying? And up until like at this point, mostly when I'm on the internet talking about the Batman, it's been literally talking about the
Batman.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
not
And shout out
stuff,
to
right?
shout out to us for, you feel what I'm saying, keeping the focus, because like that's what the shit is about. All this other shit is
taking focus away from what the movie is or what you're enjoying about the movie. And like honestly, go ahead, LB.
That's your
Yeah.
channel, bro.
No, I was just
Continue what you're
no,
saying.
I was just gonna say that, like, at the end of the day, especially, you know, the geeks and gamers, who they are, you know, it's clicks. You know, they know what they're doing when
I
they
don't know
say
these
this
niggas.
shit.
So.
Well,
No, absolutely.
yeah, they know what they're doing when they make these kind of comments, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's what they do. It's the hate stuff that they bring. It's what brings their channels clicks. Now, he definitely agrees with what he said, but he knew saying what he said what it would do. And then you want to use Ben Shapiro as a, like, hey, look, Ben Shapiro said the same thing I do. That is not a
It's
good
like, yeah, we don't like him either.
Shapiro's fucking thing went
We
that went
don't like him
way
either.
off the cliff. Did you hear what he was saying? He was saying how like
No.
how the Batman basically was promulgating defund the police ideas.
No, I didn't watch a video,
Where did
man.
you get that?
I just heard the clip, you know what
He
I'm saying?
literally said it was like kind of promoting defund the police.
I think
kind of
LB was gonna say something, and then Roberto had something to say. No, it's cool. You're good. Go ahead, LB.
I don't even remember, bro. Go ahead, dog.
All right, Roberto, you had something you were gonna say?
You think if LB forgot, I'm gonna remember?
I was thinking that same thing, bro.
I remember now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, it's just a bunch of manufactured nonsense, man. Like everything's woke to them, everything's racist to them. It's just like, I just wish there were bigger channels out there to counter that kind of content. You feel me? So it's just like, it's just aggravating, man.
Yeah, hey man,
I hate when these niggas talk about getting bullied on the internet is racism, bro. I hate that shit, man.
You know what I mean? And
What'd you say, Yello? I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
I hate when these niggas talk about getting bullied on the internet as racism. Listen, the internet is a rough place for white men in some places. That's absolutely true. The internet has been shitting on white men for a little while now. And like, it's funny, hoo-hoo, ha-has and shit. But that's not fucking discrimination and racism, bro.
Right.
That's not even prejudice. Like, that's that's the internet.
Wait,
just
what do
talking
you mean
shit.
It's been shitting on white people?
Well,
how do you mean
white people have been the butt? White men have been the butt of the joke for a little while now. You know, probably like 3, maybe 4 years. They've been the butt of the joke for a little while. And I mean, really, it's like, if you think about it, if everybody has a voice, right? Because that's what the internet is. It gives everybody a voice, and you start to see common themes. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, hey, let's look at some of this. What does this actually mean? What is this actually a byproduct of? Why does so many people seem to think that white men have it so much easier in America and across the world, really? You feel what I'm saying? Like, why is that the case? Is it some made up shit that motherfuckers made up, or is it because all of the fucking media, all of the entertainment, right? Like all of the top Forbes top 100 for the longest time, right? All of the fucking, like, what? Why is that the case? Come on, get the fuck out of here. Look at where. Which school goes to the schools? What do the neighborhoods look like that the schools are in that have the least funding? And what do the neighborhoods look like where the schools are in that have the most funding? What does that look like? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is the case?
Right.
Absolutely.
Bro. Like they like you said, bro. Like we get it. Yes, it's been the evil white man for a few years, but like they for some reason have turned that into anti-white racism. This is like,
no. But like, I've got to be honest.
Sucks to be the butt of the joke. When everybody's joking, it sucks, and you're the reason why they're joking. It sucks, but like that is not what racism is, bro.
Well,
that is not what it is.
Welcome to our world.
Being a police officer, absolutely, Danny.
Wait a second. I've seen way more anti-woke channels. Like, I honestly, like, I'm sometimes like, what are they reacting to? Because it's like there's so many anti-woke channels that are like finding wokeness in everything, and I never see a woke one. I want to see a woke. I'm really curious to find these massive woke channel platforms
for real.
because I ain't seen any, and I don't agree with some of the woke kind of points or whatever that are happening. I think there's a little bit of nuance and
facts.
You know, I'm more of a kind of old lefty than I am a kind of new lefty. But yeah, I really want to see them. I want to see where these channels are that are like that they feel so passionate that every single one of them have to come out against it.
You listen to the right, and then they all talk about the same thing for a week. Probably not that much happening out here, but anyway, when you look at the what the Ryan dude's talking about, it's the establishment. Now all of a sudden, the establishment is woke. Fuck out of here, man. What are we talking about?
I was saying that for a while. That for years, a certain demographic been on top. Now that we catching up, so to speak, they're knocking that shit.
Not even close to catching up. Now that that the disparity is being highlighted, all of a sudden it's fucking.
But Yellow, it's not that we're catching up, but like there have been a lot of strides towards like black people coming into the middle class. You
get
have
more
been
notice.
seeing that.
You
have been seeing that. More black people going into education, more black people going to university, more
also,
and they do. I think that it was right what Danny's saying. Was it Danny? I think it was Danny that said that there is a reaction to that a little bit where it's like, oh,
don't like it.
They're actually kind of moving on up in some kind of ways. So yes, in general, yes, the situation is very much the same, but you are seeing more of that. We have to give black people some props here. That they are doing more.
Things are better now than they've ever been, and that's been consistently the truth, right? Since we got here. Every fucking day, it was a little bit better. It was a little bit better. So that's absolutely right. I'm not saying what I'm saying
backs, we are doing it.
When I'm talking about things like race, right? We can't talk about it we can't really talk about it in the specific and in the minute. You feel what I'm saying? In the small, in the closed window. We can't look at a little bit of the graph and say, here, look, it looks good. We got to look at the whole thing. And for the most part, right, the wealth gap is stretching, and that affects everybody. Right?
Oh yeah.
And still on the wrong side of it, most of our people are. That's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? So yes, it's great. Like more black people are going to college than have ever gone to college before. College is significantly less helpful than it ever was before. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah. Makes sense.
To talk about the classism without talking about the racism is inherently racist. That's just what it is. I'm sorry to have to be able to break to. I know you think you're fighting a good fight. I'm not talking to nobody specific. All you motherfuckers, I know you think you're fighting a good fight. The problem is classism. Classism is absolutely a problem. Absolutely. To talk about it devoid of race is racist.
You can't. You're never gonna be able to fix classism. I mean, we too far behind.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can. You can. There's so we had we had ways of making it more. It's never going to be. We can't. It can't.
Let me change that.
But do you understand, Yellow? That
our generation can't. Our generation can't fix classism. We're going to millennials and their children are going to have to fix classism.
Well, moving toward a fix. Moving toward a fix. We can all move toward the fix. We can all,
I agree.
Research politics and vote in our local areas. And like voting is important. I'm a big proponent for voting. I know motherfuckers don't like voting. I understand vote. It's definitely rigged. I'm not saying it's not, but you have to at least do that. We can all engage in different ways of trying to help people who don't think about these things think about these things. Because the more we're distracted, the less we're paying attention, right? Then the less we're doing and the less we're getting done. And all there's things that we all can do. And yes, we won't see the benefits of it. I won't die and see classism fixed, especially not here. You feel what I'm saying? But moving toward it is what we all need to be focused on.
All I was saying, Yellow, and I completely appreciate what you're saying, but all I was saying is that we have to at the same time, we have to recognize the kind of the systematic racism within society and all of the things that go along with it, but there's always this kind of narrative of the black man has to pull up his bootstraps and do it for himself and blah, blah, blah. And what I'm trying to say is actually we have been. The statistics are showing it.
That's fact.
That in terms of education, in terms of people moving to middle class or all of that, despite all of the things that are holding us back.
Despite not having boots.
We still are being able to, do that and move ourselves out of some of the conditions that we're in. So I just think that's really something that we have to keep on saying, not only because it encourages young black people not to feel like, that the system is just completely, there's nothing they can do about it. But also because it goes against that narrative of we need to pull up our bootstraps. We have. Facts.
That's all.
Look at it.
Absolutely. We're gonna get into our final thoughts, guys, so that we can, close it up for the night. It was a great conversation. Thank you to the panel that came on. I do appreciate it. LB did say that we should try and have a platform like this, and this is what we try to do. We're trying to grow over here. You know, we're trying to have fun. We're trying to educate as well too, because honestly, there is a lot of bullshit on the internet, man. Like, there's a lot of bullshit on there, and like Roberto said, people are picking sides. You know what I mean? And that's a problem. You know what I mean? Instead
People are
of
always going to pick sides. So
yeah,
it's like
but without doing research though. You know what I
again,
mean?
that's
And thinking
always the
for
case.
themselves.
Most people, that's
More
what
of a
most people
popularity
do, and that's what we
contest than
gotta.
actual.
That's what we gotta. I think that's how you combat it. Is you encourage more people to just think critically, be more nuanced, right? When you have conversations, try to approach it from different angles and shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and just get in the habit of doing that shit about everything. And then maybe, you feel what I'm saying? Maybe one day we can evolve past this fucking like this tribal brain that like it was necessary for us to have this tribal brain. We're social creatures. We evolved so that we can live longer. Being part of society, being able to agree with a bunch of people about something helps us live longer. That's fact. We're beyond that point now.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to just say,
yeah, final
LB,
thoughts, good man. Go ahead.
LB, I've been watching some of your videos recently, man. It's lovely to be on a panel with you. I think your channel's fire, and you talk about some really important stuff. I hope it's you. I hope it's you, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate the love, man. Thank
Absolutely, man. Great channel you have there. And give your final thoughts, OB, if anything you want to say, man.
And honestly, this is just disappointing. We have to be better. I mean, regardless of what you politically think, ideology or whatever, like this essentially the beef between Rippa, Jody, Amazing Lucas, and whatever is basically based off of a racist comment someone said. Like this, they could have had a discussion, an adult conversation about this, whether it was behind the scenes or whatever. But they all decided to get on the streams and just waste time. Like they spent hours and hours arguing, and what was the point? There was no actual discussion. It's just like real counterproductive, man. I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, and it was orchestrated to be that way, right? It's a wrestling match. Like
Just
I think
the emphasis
Tim
when he
said
mentioned
earlier.
white. When he mentioned white, he just emphasized it in a way that it touched me, and that just became the sole topic. Everything was just blah 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 after.
Absolutely.
Why do you want what? You're specifically trying to stimulate senses when you do this, and it's not positive what you're trying to do.
Who you mean, the fat nigga?
No, the originator. The originator.
The originator. Yeah.
The original comment. It's just to stimulate.
The white man.
I didn't want to say the white man again. I think it's
shit, damn.
I'm
When
not
the white
even
man
at
brought
the
up white
level
people,
of-
you knew it was a problem. As soon as white folks start talking about white people, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. That's been my
but there's a purpose to it. It's not to bring anything prosperous. It's just anger, negative,
absolutely
rhetoric, man.
Absolutely. Mystic Shadow said, so far, this is a great channel. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, man. You know what I mean?
Real.
That's what we try to do. Danny, give some thoughts, man.
I want to echo what Lonely Banner is saying. It is it's kind of disheartening when you see people that look like us going back, and the conversation and the disagreement is needless. Because the same way that energy they pouring into cursing each other out, they could have that same energy to try and sit down and have a intelligent, rational decision. I definitely like this platform with you guys, because we all have different points of view, come from different age groups, different walks of life, but we all seem to agree, have a common agreement on most of the facts here. There's a little difference of opinions in certain aspects, but for the most part, we're on the same page. And if 6 people can come together and agree, I'm pretty sure 2 can do it quite easily than we can. So I think this all is something that is made up for clicks. And if that's what they want to do to get what they want to get, then there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah.
Do what you want. I'm gonna call you dumb every time, but do what you want.
I have no ill will toward Jody, but he is not my cup of tea. I don't watch his stuff. I don't get on him and badmouth him. I've never heard of Rippa until tonight, and I don't watch his stuff. But hey, if they want to do it, More power to them, but I like what we got going on here, and I'm going to stay on this side of the fence. So appreciate the invite, Nzo, as always.
No problem. Glad you're here, Roberto.
I know what I'm hoping for is impossible. To all of our listeners, I am not prejudiced, and I don't want any of our white listeners to think that this is a white witch hunt. That we are just a bunch of angry black men that are going to come on every week and emphasize on the mistreatment of us and this and that. It's a very frustrating topic. Sometimes we voice and may come off like we are racist. But again, I grew up with too many different races for me to be racist. I hate everybody equally.
Really, you hate me?
I hate everybody who hates me equally. If you don't like something about me, I'm sure I can find something about you I don't like, but I don't spend my life doing this. I try and treat people as I would like to be treated. I find myself listening a lot more now than talking because I don't feel my point will come across to people who have an agenda.
I was quite fond
hope that
of
there's.
you. I mean,
Oh, thank you. I like you too, nerd man. You know, you enlighten me, you educate me, and like I said, I like to listen more than I talk. But there are some topics that I have to voice my opinion, and I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I'm not here I did not come on this platform to speak out about the injustice of Black people. It's evident every day since I'm on this planet. I just live my life and speak about the things that bother me. And it's not a witch hunt. That's all I want to say.
Here, Roberto. Here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. My final thoughts, guys. I just want to say, because, you know, the topic, we talk about YouTube drama. It's useless. It's not worth it. There are more things in life to be worried about than to be sitting there fighting some fucking YouTuber because they said some stupid shit that you don't agree with. You know what I mean? And I think it's echoed by everybody on this panel. It's disheartening when you see two of these big channels going at it, you know, and instead of having a civil conversation, that's a dick measuring contest. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we all need to come together because as Black men and women, we get held back a lot more. And the only way we can get above it is if we stand together and not try to break everyone down. And if smoke some weed, man. You know what I mean? Let it go, smoke a spliff, and all you motherfuckers will be happier. You know what I mean? You'll have
Stop pretending that's weed. That's crack, bro. Don't pretend.
Oh, here we go. Black people and crack.
You know what I mean? Smoke weed every day, man.
We're trying to kill that stigma, man.
You know, and I just gotta say this real quick. You know, we had a great crowd out there watching today, so thank you guys in the chat. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of this shit without you guys watching, man. And I do appreciate every single one of you that come in to watch it, and I appreciate everybody on this panel that comes and hangs out with us. You know what I mean? 100%. You know, me and Roberto, we did this thing and then we figure, you know, we can bring people in on it and some of our shows and have
Blessed
great
to have met
conversations.
all you great people, man.
Facts.
Blessed. Never thought this would happen, but glad it did.
And that's another thing. Take the positives from what you get from doing this YouTube stuff and throw the negative out the window, man. That's all I got to say on that. So with that being said, guys, peace, love, and hair grease. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys once again. Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.
greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.